light, screens glowing blue. Got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. 𝗺𝗵𝗃 and 𝗟𝗟, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 𝗃𝗍 From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtle boys riding in the reckoning gon' come. 𝗟𝗟 in the back room, 𝗺𝗍 on the phone. Trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. Truth got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks. They can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, guys. We just call old down to the city blocks. We just riding slow, guys.
Welcome to the weekend live show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃 Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, 𝗺𝗿𝗄𝗃, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and
Hey, you a funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's more a doctor, but
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog out.
Let's get this party started.
Yo, what's up, people? Good evening. Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Is that working? Not really centered there. Whatever. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome, everybody. My name's Aidan Kearney. Welcome to my YouTube presentation. I go by a variety of nicknames. This is the Turtleboy Live Show. You can call me up to and including 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. That's my true crime name. You can call me Journalism Jesus. It's my spiritual name. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy if you'd like. Old school turtle riders tend to do that. You can call me, just Turtleboy. A lot of people call me Turtleboy. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, Turts, Turtle Tits. You can call me, Dr. Turtleboy is actually my preferred pronoun of choice because if Judd Welch is a doctor, then so am I. But you can also call me like, I don't know, 𝗺𝗏. That's my chat rad name. You can call me what else? Daddy, if you like. Some people might find that weird, but others find it fun, flirtatious, playful, all that good stuff. You can call me different kinds of daddy, you know, theater daddy, crowd daddy, brow daddy, daytime daddy. What else? Media daddy, Saint daddy, and of course, fridge daddy, because I will fix your fridge if you'd like me to fix it. And I will just shake it really hard and boom, it'll get fixed. But it might get broken in a week or 2 weeks. Who knows? But whatever it is, just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night, usually at 9 o'clock sharp, but not this week. I was supposed to be 9 o'clock, but I got caught up. My whole family's in town this weekend, so kids are all together. One of those things. Went over times at Webster Lake, celebrating down there, and you know, here we are now. But hold on, I gotta turn the fan on. It's hot as balls in here. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely true pool daddy tomorrow. We're having a pool party too, because you know, having a pool, you got to have pool parties, you know. So anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. If you want to have your messages read out loud to the class tonight, make sure you smash that subscribe button for us, and you know, be here every Tuesday and Saturday night, like I said. Wait, am I brain farting here? Hold on. I might get my shit fucked up here. If you want to have your messages read out loud to the class, click at the bottom. Don't click subscribe. That won't do you any good. Click at the link at the bottom for Turtle Chat. Okay. And when you do that, you can pay whatever you want, say whatever you want, and I'll read your messages out loud to the class. Or you can cash at me at $, 𝗺𝗏𝗺𝗏𝗺𝗏𝗺, and we can do it that way. All right. So let me see what we got so far if we have any. Hold on. Today is the 25th, I think. All right, we got a few here. Okay. We got Brittany sends $10 again and goes, I've been looking through your old articles and videos lately. For your criminal case, you need to look at episode 584, starting at 11:30 through 16:30. It proves that you wanted Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert to testify. It goes to your intent. Did you ever find out what the New Jersey accusations were? Did someone email her husband or school pretending it was you? I have no idea. We have not gotten the transcripts for the grand jury. We don't know who testified. I don't know anything about who testified. I don't know anything. So I have no idea. Like, you see rumors online. I have no idea. I've never done in order to be charged, indicted for cyber harassment. You have to send lewd, obscene, or like sexual materials over the internet. I've never done anything of the sort to this woman ever. So whatever it is, I literally have no idea what it is. No idea. Whatever it is completely made up. Like, literally made up. Like, made up. I have no clue. I've never contacted this woman's husband or I don't know what, like, dude, I wrote about this woman like 7 months ago and I haven't talked about her at all. And she's talked about me every day. And so we offered to have me testify at the grand jury, which is nobody ever does that. And they declined it. And we're going to go through with it anyway. Because if if I testify, I might not be indicted, and they don't want that. So yeah, yesterday, I'm not going to lie, I had to pay $60,000 yesterday for attorneys. Now I had to give my New Jersey attorney $60,000 yesterday, just like that. Boom. Imagine that. $60,000 gone, just like that. Right. And then we're going to appeal the anti-slap thing. We knew that was going to happen. The odds of the anti-slap are, they don't like me. They're not going to make anything easy for me. So we're going to have to appeal the anti-slap, and that's going to be another like 75 G's probably, right? So that's like 135. That was a $135,000 day I had yesterday. So like, I hope you got, like, it goes like that. So we need to do another fundraiser. We have to do another fundraiser. We have to do one soon. Like, it's like, I imagine that. Imagine you guys just got a bill like that. Yeah, $60,000, and we need it today. So go to the bank and wire $60,000. That's what I had to do yesterday. Okay. Just for this, just for this bullshit, just because somebody was bored and wanted to, in vindictive, and wants to put me in jail, and went and made up some shit, because that's what happened. I haven't done a goddamn thing to this individual. That's it. So, you know, is what it is. Is what it is. Anyway, it's just crazy, man. Like, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. What do? I talk on the internet. That's it. I literally sit here and talk on the internet. I haven't, the protest stopped about 3 years ago. Other than that, I show up for court dates and I just sit here and I talk on the internet, and they're like, you're committing crimes. You're sitting there and you have to pay all this money because what? I've told the truth. That's all I've done is tell the truth. I've shared my thoughts on everything. So, like, you know, anybody feel like, you know, the legal defense fund, we're going to have to do another fundraiser for this. Cause like, it's like crazy. The amount of bills I have, when I go to do my taxes, I won't owe anything in taxes, because they're like, well, how much did you make this year? Oh, like negative $200,000. Oh, okay. That's like my income this year is like negative $200,000 because of all the money. Like, my legal bills have officially surpassed $1 million. We're over $1 million bucks, bro. Karen Reed didn't have close to $1 million. Not even close to that. Each of her lawyers was 200 grand. That's it. 𝗵𝗶𝗆𝗃 was free. Right. And but you know, because she got a flat fee, I didn't. So is what it is. So this is what we have to keep doing. They're very upset that Karen Reed was acquitted of murder. Like, they're not taking it very well. Right. They're blaming me for it. It's just so ironic, because like some of the people who don't like me are like, well, you did, you know, she's not free, because the pro Karen Reed people who don't like me say that, well, she's not free because of you, Turtle. She's free because of, you know, her lawyers, and she did this. And oh yeah, absolutely. 100%, 1000%. Okay. They had a lot more to do with it than I did. That's for fuck sure. As far as actually freeing her, like, but as far as like emotional support and like getting the word out there and making this case impossible to ignore, that's what I did. We've been over what I've done and what she's done, right? We've each done our own thing, right? So, you know, they got to pick a lane. Like the pro Karen Reed, anti Turtleboy people, who are probably crazier than anyone, they're more upset than anything. Like, they're just, they hate me more than anyone. Like, they're so bizarre, because they have to balance this line between Karen Reed being innocent and me being innocent. And as Randall pointed out, that's hard to do. That's hard to do. Okay. And let me see here. Like, I got some, there were some Crawford clips here that I was retweeting and posting. Check this out. Like, they're there. Okay. Look at this clip. This is him. They're basically saying Karen.
Problem with Aidan.
Okay. Here they go. Listen to this.
Aidan Kearney. And that's why I always think Karen has a better shot. Unfortunately, she's been dragged into this through him over and over again.
Right.
And it's unfortunate. You know, I think she did cooperate with some of the stuff that went on in the past. It seems very clear she was kind of in on this shit early on. And I think one of the issues that she has is, you know, she could be totally innocent of the allegations of crime. She was found not guilty. I believe that. I believe she didn't hit John. But then she can witness intimidate, you know, so
she can witness intimidate. So he's saying that she's guilty of witness intimidation. That Karen Reed, yeah, okay, fine. I guess she didn't hit her with the car, but she is guilty of witness intimidation. She's saying, because there's no way I'm innocent. If I'm innocent of witness intimidation, then Karen Reed is too. Okay. They don't want me to be innocent of witness intimidation. They want me to be guilty of witness intimidation, which means Karen's guilty too. Like, there's no Her and I spoke all the time. Like, how are you gonna So if you're saying I'm guilty of witness intimidation, which these guys are all doing now,
it's kind of a weird thing. And you almost like JFK says a lot. How can you blame somebody when they're fighting for their life and they think the whole system's out to get them? Everyone's corrupt. Everyone's in on it. You have no other option but this little vile troll. I mean, that's what it came down to. And you'll do whatever you can for John O'Keefe. And I think that's.
And look at this loser on the left. This fucking homosexual loser. Just go, Yeah. I mean, these two retards, they're saying they had to, like, yeah, it's okay that Karen Reed witness intimidated because, you know, she had to. But there's no doubt, they're not denying that she's guilty of witness intimidation now. Like,
her defense. I think that's what her PR defense will be going forward for the rest of her life if she's ever convicted of this crap, you know. But
she's ever convicted of this crap.
Well, some of the mistakes she made and the slant in it. There was definitely a slant. She didn't cover the free Karen Reed side of it, no doubt.
This is his.
But that's what a lot of reporters do, and at least she's obvious about it.
This is his take on the Gretchen Voss story. Listen to this, and listen to what he says about David Yannetti now.
But the big takeaway from that whole thing is this whole thing about Yannetti and the leaked messages. That's just not a good look. And
not a good look.
No, they don't want to talk about that. That just says a lot. You just want her to get her fired. Like, okay, we're firing. I thought we were about freedom of speech. Now people want to get journalists fired.
We want people who are really bad at their job to be fired in general. Like when I go to a restaurant and the waitress is really, really bad and like is on her phone and isn't attending, I want her fired because she's bad at her job. Period. Anywhere I go and the service is bad, the bad employee should go. She's bad. She's supposed to do journalism. She doesn't. She should be fired. And David Yannetti is, you know, throwing blows out there. And this guy's team, Gretchen Voss, he's like, yeah, David Yannetti, it's wrong. Some of the what's wrong with the messages with David Yannetti? Yeah, you're right. If you think I talked to Karen Reed a lot more than I talked to David Yannetti, dude. Careful what you're saying there, pal. Careful what you're saying, right? They want her so bad. But like, if you think that David Yannetti messages, like none of these are bad. Nothing in those messages were bad at all. The David Yannetti messages. What was bad about them? He's telling me good job. Of course he's going to say good job. You know why he said good job? Because I did a good job. That's what happens when you do a good job. People tell you good job. Great job, actually. You know, they love me. And that's a really hard pill. That's what's the hardest pill for these people to swallow is they can't get over the fact that David, Alan, and Karen loved me. They loved me. They loved everything that I did. Why wouldn't they? It was awesome. Like I helped put a gigantic spotlight on the people that were framing their client. This guy's up here being like, I don't really agree with this. I don't really agree with this.
That's a wild take. I thought Yannetti was about freedom of speech. He wants her fired, doesn't he? He's asking her to get her resume pulled and shit. That's not a great look for a First Amendment freedom of speech guy, right?
Because I don't have my glasses on.
Poor Brian's blind tonight. So if everyone can deal, you know, I'm looking on the screen. I don't think it looks that bad.
Not that bad. Yeah.
If your audience is really hating it, let me know and I can reboot. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, Brian's blind tonight, so I have my.
Somebody goes in the comments. Nope. And that's a person that supports Kearney. It looks like he's been talking to Aidan and giving him praise. Yeah, he came on my fundraiser too. He was harassed by the woman from New Jersey who says she's a victim of me. He's been harassed by her. And he came on, he supports me. I don't know why this is a surprise to people. David Yannetti and Alan Jackson support me. Like, why? Did you guys think they didn't? Like, what's wrong with you?
Have my glasses.
That's what we need. We need to get another woman fired.
What?
That's a good point, Miss 808. It's very reminiscent of other situations. It's like, dude, are you a turtle rider? Like, I never thought Yannetti would be a turtle. I mean, he looks like a turtle rider right now. It's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And the tweets.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Yeah, I thought it was very cringy. I was embarrassed by it, actually. Say what you will about the article, but geez, I was more embarrassed by the response. Yeah, you're calling out the ethics, but what about your ethics? Like,
oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Yeah. David Yannetti has been lighting people up, right? Like he's just been on a roll lately. Let's review some of his tweets. All right. So he started off with this one, and we're going to go over the Gretchen Voss thing again. Hey, 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗶. I don't know. Does the Boston Globe own Boston Magazine? Because she owns 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗶 is John Henry's hoe. That's what she is. She is a hoe. Don't get like when you see 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗶, she's the one who married John Henry, the owner of the Boston Globe and the Boston Red Sox, who's like, 30 years older than her. She's hot, this and that. That's what we call, if that was anything, if she had a heroin addiction, we would call her a hooker, right? So I'm going to call her a hooker because that's what people like her are. If you fuck old rich guys, I apologize, I'm not supposed to swear. If you bang old rich guys who you're quite clearly not attracted to physically or anything like that, just because they are rich, you're a hoe. I don't know if you realize that. Like 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗶 is a hoe. She's a hooker. Okay. She might not be unionized as a hooker or have an OnlyFans or anything like that, but she bangs an old dude, and in return, she gets financial security, the likes of which no one else has. So there's that. Yeah, like Belichick's girl. Like it's okay to point to Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, and say she is a prostitute. That's what she is. That let's keep it a buck here. So some woman is on the corner. Oh, $100 get you a BJ, this and that. Okay. At least they're upfront about it. That they're clearly that. Jordan Hudson is banging Bill Belichick and we're supposed to think she's in love with him. No, she wants the money. They're doing it for money. They get paid in different ways. It's like, are you kidding me? Anyway. So yeah, David Yannetti says, hey, 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗶, do you have editors these days at Boston Magazine, or have they all taken the summer off? That's a great question. Well, I will anxiously await the correction that you must publish to the shoddy reporting of Gretchen Voss. Please also tell John Henry that our beloved Red Sox could use a couple bats at the trade deadline. Yeah, I would say so. I would say that 14 wins in a row thing was cute, but have you seen their lineup? I don't know. I don't think might be lightning in a bottle. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, that's my question when I read her article was like, did anyone edit this? Did they just let anything happen? Like, are you just allowed to just post whatever you want? Like, was there any editorial oversight? Did he look it over at all and say, where is your evidence of this? What's your source for this? I need to. And it was really unprofessional for her to use all those anonymous sources as well. That story, anonymous sources are okay sometimes, but they can't be all of your sources. Like all of her sources are anonymous. It's bizarre. Why is everybody saying it was 15? What was 15? Oh, it's 15 in a row they won. Holy shit. God damn. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. So he roasts her there. Okay, that's a good roast. He's got a couple other roasts. Update, correction made. So he got his correction in. If you'll recall, look at my correction. Do you know how embarrassing this is? This is humiliating for a publication to have to put 2 corrections at the bottom of a story. Update. The story has been updated to accurately reflect that Aidan Kearney's phone extraction became public via his now former girlfriend. So let it be known now. Let it be known that the Boston Magazine has confirmed that the only reason my phone extraction out there and Karen Reed's signal messages are out there and David Yannetti's messages are out there is because of a woman by the name of Meredith O'Neill. That's it. She did it. It's over. It's done. Undeniable. Also, the story has also been updated to remove any ambiguity about the context of a message from defense attorney David Yannetti to Kearney. When Yannetti wrote, "These bastards deserve all the scorn we are giving them," he was referring to the Massachusetts State Police. I would say he needs more than that. He was referring to Michael Proctor, disgraced racist state trooper Michael Proctor, former. That's their team. That's their team racism. And I haven't had a chance to watch Defense Diaries review of my denial because I've been out all day, but everybody said it was fantastic. Everybody said it was fantastic. They brought up a lot of great case law, so I cannot wait to read that over. And I did see I haven't even read the whole denial yet because I've been so busy with other shit because New Jersey shit's insane. But I was reading one of the footnotes, and they talk about the goddamn inside joke thing, coded language. They're like, see, he was using coded language. So that was the judge's ruling, that he was using coded language. So he wasn't trying to talk to the government. What? First of all, it was hardly coded. Okay. It was a joke. That was the whole point. It was a joke. If I tell you what the code is, it's not really coded anymore, is it? If I say that this is this means this, then it's not, then everybody knows what it is. And by the way, since when does like every sentence I say have to be petitioning the government? Like when I say, oh, this TV show sucks, is that petitioning the government? No, not every word I say is petitioning the government. Not every sentence, right? Sometimes I just talk about shit, right? But every time I talked about the McAlberts and what they did to John O'Keefe, and I'm never going to stop saying that. I want to rant about that in a minute, but I'm never going to stop saying that. And every time I talk about that, it's because I want the government to do something. And guess what? When we appeal this, we're going to appeal this shit. And I like our chances on the appeal. When we appeal this new Boston Magazine article is going to be front and center because that was not available at the time when we wrote this. I don't think Gretchen Voss is such a retard that I don't think she realizes how helpful that is. I do not think she realizes how helpful it is. And by the way, when we talk about recordings, if someone's recording you, you can record them and you don't have to tell them that. You cannot wiretap someone who is actively recording you. That's not secretive. Do you understand that? I actually set case law on this. I actually published the court thing. So I'll decide when that gets published. Not anytime soon. We'll see. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, what else was I saying? I forget. I'm so forgetful. I need to drink more coffee, but oh yeah. The more I think about this, that's how ridiculous this is. Like, they're really suing me for something that they did, like for me saying something that they did, and they think they're going to win. Like, give me a break, bro. The more bro, Adam 𝗍𝗫 and the federal government accuse them of murder. Like, according to them, according to Colin Albert, and all of their emotional distress came from the federal government. So I'm so happy that that's the angle they're going with now, that the federal government itself is illegitimate. That seemed good luck. Good luck telling a judge that the United States Attorney's Office is in on framing the McAlberts. That's what they're saying. They are saying we are victims of the United States government. Who am I to say that they didn't murder somebody if Adam 𝗍𝗃 believes they did. Clear, according to Colin Albert, that is what they said. According to Colin Albert, according to Brian Albert, that's what they said. Who am I to say otherwise? Like, of course. And because John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car, the fact of the matter is John O'Keefe went inside that house and was murdered. That's what happened. They're never going to stop people from saying it. Millions of us are going to say it. Saying Turtleboy was right was just our cutesy little way of being like, fuck you, we'll say whatever we want, bitch. Right? We all said it. Keep saying it. Never stop saying it. That's what happened. What's this? Oh my God. This is what Djuna Perkins wrote. I got to see this. Oh my God. I got to see this. She actually posted the Boston Magazine article. God, she's useless. I got to see this. She's going to shit on Adam 𝗍𝗃, huh? Hold on. State sovereignty means that federal prosecutors should not interfere with state prosecutions unless the risk of not doing so would outweigh the potential harm caused. Oh, agreed. And it would. It would not. It would not. Like, when the state is covering up a murder, that's a good time for the federal government to jump in. The DA made many self-serving, unethical decisions in the prosecution of Karen Read. The failure to prosecute the murder of Sandra Birchmore and many other cases, which is why I decided to challenge him. But his poor performance should not have been left to the voters, should have been left to the voters to evaluate, not the federal government. Does this retard not realize that the federal government is the reason why Sandra Birchmore's killer was arrested? Because that's her big thing, right? Sandra Birchmore. Sandra Birchmore's killer was arrested because the federal government did something about it, because the state government was covering it up. They attempted to do that for John O'Keefe unsuccessfully. The failure of the federal and state government to protect victims. What? Witnesses and jurors. Oh my God. Jurors were never unsafe. Like, this is just a complete lie. Jurors were unsafe. Witnesses. Oh my God. Makes us all unsafe, because people who don't feel safe will not participate in the criminal justice system, and perpetrators won't be held accountable. And yet they all participated in the criminal justice system. What are you talking about? Deciding when the fine line between free speech and criminal harassment and witness intimidation is crossed requires a nuanced analysis of the evidence in each case. But when that line is crossed, the perpetrator must be held accountable. Is she talking about me? Oh my God. Finally, prosecutors are ethically and legally obligated to treat everyone, even suspected criminals, fairly and respectfully. To evaluate, was Karen Read treated fairly and respectfully? To evaluate evidence thoroughly and partially, examining it from all sides to ensure accuracy. They are also prohibited from using the power of their position to gain personal advantage, and from engaging directly with anyone represented by counsel, which would include Karen Read and the estate of Sandra Birchmore. Adam 𝗍𝗃 has never spoken to Karen Read. You liar. Why is this woman lying? Wow. Violating any of these rules demonstrates inexperience, poor judgment, bad intent, or all three. Wow. As we've seen in recent cases, the DA has enormous power. The next DA must have a demonstrated commitment to public service excellent judgment based on broad personal and professional experience in the integrity and the courage to make difficult, even unpopular decisions without fear or favor. Who will you choose? Not you, bitch. Not you. Someone else. Yeah, I hope Rita's seeing that. That's disgusting. I mean, that is disqualifying, that post right there. Disqualifying. But this is the kind of people. I mean, you know, Karen Reed's team is all in on Adam 𝗫𝗏. If you support Karen Reed, you better be supporting Adam 𝗫𝗏. Don't act. That's another thing. You don't get to pretend to be a Karen Reed supporter if you're supporting Djuna Perkins, because she don't support Karen Reed. She doesn't. And she certainly doesn't support John O'Keefe. Anyway, back to Yannetti here. I'm sure Yannetti supports the right team. So he's like, update, correction made. That's embarrassing. And then he goes, typically I refrain from dunking on opponents, but the X trending now is too delicious not to pass along. Sorry to all the haters. I know this is going to ruin your Friday night. Oh. Kearney attorney secures quick corrections to Boston Magazine article. Yikes. Yikes. What else do we have here? He retweets Microdots saying, love Microdots. It is disgraceful that Boston Magazine editor-in-chief Chris Vogel allowed his publication to be weaponized for such an out-of-touch, lazy article bloated with lies, half-truths, and basic factual errors. He's either asleep at the wheel or he doesn't care about the quality of his magazine. Exactly. David retweeted that. That's great. A primer on unethical reporting and the priorities of certain media. Every publication prides itself on thorough, accurate, and ethical reporting. A lot of work and a system of checks and balances is supposed to be put in place to hopefully ensure that a publisher will never have to issue a correction. Because that is embarrassing. Like, that is for editors, that is a big no. If you have to issue a correction, never mind multiple easily verifiable corrections. Like the Yannetti one was easy. The Yannetti one was on my show. He showed the context of those texts, that he was not talking about the witnesses. We were talking about Michael Proctor there. Michael Proctor not falling up on the Ford Edge. Issuing a correction is a black eye to the reporter, certainly. It signals to future editors that she cannot be trusted. But it is also embarrassing to the editors and the publisher. It is. Like, that's a huge deal to any legitimate one. They can't just be like, oh, yeah, we'll just issue a correction. Like, that's embarrassing. That is, for a major publication like this, that is humiliating. And so if I'm the editor, I'm furious with Gretchen Voss. Like, but again, it's his fault because the buck stops with him, period. It's Chris Vogel's fault. So, so now we come to Gretchen Voss's agenda-driven hit piece in Boston Magazine. People ask why someone would not grant an interview to a reporter like her. You don't grant someone like that an interview because you would be giving an untrustworthy person control of your words. Right. That is why you record them, because they're recording you. So you record them. That's what you do. You record them. You don't need to tell them you're recording them. You can just legally record them because they are recording you. And the Massachusetts wiretapping statute requires secrecy. So you should, if anyone who agrees to an interview with Gretchen Voss should, if she tells you that she's recording you, you need to record her, right? Because you're allowed legally to do that, period. She's not seeking the truth. That's true. She's advancing her own narrative, irrespective of and contrary to the truth. Yeah, her narrative is the 𝗵𝗲𝗺 narrative. And that's, her narrative is that the federal government, right, is the bad guy. That's what she's saying. The United States Attorney's Office is in on her narrative is literally that the United States Attorney's Office conspired with Karen Reed and Turtleboy to frame the McAlberts and harm them. That's what he's saying with the straight face, is that the federal government did that. That's amazing. And it's retarded. But on top of that, Karen Reed was acquitted by a jury of her peers because they heard evidence in court that was overwhelming that John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. They heard from experts. They heard from doctors. They all made it clear dude wasn't hit by a car. And a jury was ready to acquit her within a day. And then they got hung up on a DUI for 2 days, according to every juror interview we've seen on the way out. So, given her lack of ethics, she will take a quote from you and publish it out of context to make it appear as if you said something you didn't. And that's exactly what she did with his text messages. Like, why didn't David Yannetti agree to an interview? Look what she did with his texts. If she's willing to lie about what his texts say, and there's receipts for that, imagine what she would lie about in an interview with him if he didn't record it. As an aside, those dangers are exactly why any criminal defense attorney will advise a client never to speak to the police. I chose not to speak with Gretchen Voss because I knew her to be untrustworthy. And sure enough, she was so blinded by her own bias that she took an old quote of mine out of context and made it appear as though I said something I didn't. In the process, of course, she unwittingly proved what her intentions would have been exactly had I agreed to speak with her face in the first place. And by doing so, she puts her magazine in legal jeopardy. Shame on her. Oh. Don't pick a fight with a lawyer, Gretchen. You can bet that when Boston Magazine received my demand for a correction, they panicked. They consulted with their legal department, who advised them that there was no out. Dude, let me be very clear to Chris Vogel. David Yannetti made you his bitch. He made you his bitch. He asked you to jump and you said, how high, sir? What would you like? Yes, sir. NASA. Oh, yeah, right away, sir. Whatever you want, sir. That's what you did, Chris Vogel, because you're scared of him. As you should be. As you should be. Because Gretchen Voss put you in a horrible position. But then again, you're literally supposed to edit her shit, bro. Why didn't you edit it? They recognized that one of the strongest defamation claims that could exist, because Gretchen Voss acted with actual malice and there was no defense to what she did. God bless this man. They were loath to do it, but they had no choice. They issued the correction and hoped that would put the issue to bed. I am told that the printed edition still exists. Does it? Has it come out yet? I hope not. I haven't decided yet whether to take any further action regarding that clear defamation. In addition, there are many other inaccuracies in her article, although I will likely leave it to others to demand those corrections. For now, once again, to have exposed corruption is satisfying to expose corruption. So I have, we're going to be going over the story again tonight and putting together a list. I've gotten more. I'm going to be sending Chris Vogel a list of things he must retract. Like undeniable. There's a whole bunch of shit in here. And if I were Chris Vogel, I'm telling you, Chris Vogel right now, bro, just take the whole thing down and start over. If I were him, because every second that these defamatory things remain up on his company's website, we don't know if it's been printed yet. It usually doesn't come out till the August edition, she said. We don't know if it's been printed. But every minute that those remain up there, damages accrue. More and more people. And this directly, especially me, I'm awaiting trial. My potential jury pool is reading this, right? This also is done to stop an election. Like, this is election interference. That's what this is. And we saw that someone was paid off. You guys see this? I retweeted this one. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. I'm going to go right over to mine. Hold on. The 𝗺𝗏 thing. Exactly. Here. Okay. Interesting timing. On June 16th, Morrissey's campaign paid $10,000 to Gretchen Voss's burger buddy, David 𝗵𝗏 of 𝗵𝗏 Communications for media consulting. A month later, Voss published an anti-Reed, anti-Turtleboy, anti-𝗬𝗍𝗃 hit piece. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. I guarantee you she's not an 𝗵𝗏𝗃 supporter. And this was done to smear 𝗵𝗏𝗃. That's what this was all about, to make him sound unethical. And look at Djuna Perkins jumping in. She is falling hook, line, and sinker for it. What she doesn't understand is we need to be united against Greg Conner. She is a plant to help Greg Conner. That is all she is. She is a plant to help Greg Conner. And we need, in little over a month, to get out to the polls and urge everybody that you know in the 28 towns and cities of Norfolk County to vote for 𝗵𝗏𝗃 in the Democratic primary. Get out there. Vote 𝗃𝗏𝗃. Vote 𝗃𝗃𝗃. Okay. Now, oh, I love this one. See, David Yannetti wants a journalist. Mama Llama writes this. Carrie Llama says, David Yannetti wants a journalist to correct a story that quotes his own exact words. Good luck with that. And this is him asking for the correction. Then the correction gets granted, and he goes, thanks for wishing me luck, sweetheart. It worked. Oh, he makes them so mad. It worked. They clarified who you say that you were talking, not who we say he's talking about, who he was talking about. Michael Proctor, using the exact quote. They didn't correct anything and won't need to, because everything in that story is true, except it wasn't. And you know it. The fact that you called Boston Magazine crying, demanding that only that be clarified in the story that otherwise makes you look completely corrupt, it really doesn't, though. Unethical speaks volumes. Your behavior on Twitter shows everyone exactly why Karen Reed and Alan Jackson told you to kick rocks. What are you talking about? Out here acting like Turtleboy. And don't call me sweetheart, you misogynistic pig. Shut up, whore. That's what you are. You're a stupid whore. Shut up. Okay. I'm not going to go full that. I'm not going to go full Turtleboy on it tonight. I'm being good. Okay. Now, I also saw some of these opinion polls. I mean, look at these opinion polls, bro. We need to talk. This is so amazing when it comes to the defamation case. Again, we've been over these polls before, but only 6% of Massachusetts residents believe that police did not plant evidence. 6% of residents do not believe the police. 6%. That's it. Don't focus on the 66, 69% that do. Focus on the fact that it's 6% that don't. That is such a small minority. Again, Twitter is not the real world, folks. These mama llama retards, they're like 5 of them. Like, none of them are around here. Everyone around here, this is the University of New Hampshire poll. Okay. I wish they would do some polling for the DA's race. That's what I really like to see. And it's along political lines too. Look at Democrats. 68% say that stuff was planted. 3% say it wasn't. Republicans, 18% say it wasn't, but 74% say it was. So 29% of Democrats have no opinion. Only 9% of Republicans do. I guess Republicans are more like have stronger opinions on shit or something. I don't know. But like more Republicans don't believe shit was planted, only 18%. But also more Republicans do believe shit was planted. Like that's crazy. That's a crazy poll. Again, this is where my jury pool is going to come from. This is where Karen Reed's jury pool came from. This is where in the civil case too. This is wild. What else do we have here? All right. We're going to get to some of that stuff. It was trending yesterday. Okay. What's this one? Yep. Okay. Crawford. Yep. We don't need to get into them too much. Do we have any good replies here? Oh, this guy, Jamie Genero, who sued me a couple years ago. And the case just never went anywhere. I forgot what happened to him. I'm like, oh, yeah, remember that when you sued me and then nothing happened? Okay. What's this one? Do you agree with the following statement? Evidence was planted. Yes. Is this the same poll? Yeah, okay. I don't know what this is, but you got the point here. Anyway, I'm going to go back to Yannetti's Twitter because he had some more good tweets. He's just been roasting them. Any good replies here? Keep digging, Grant. You are onto something. You never thought I'd see the day. You are the man. Dear Kevin, the Plevinator. You know what Boston Defender has never done? As a prosecutor, shown an inverted, edited video during a trial and claimed to be a true and accurate representation. He has never stood by Michael Proctor and called him the most vetted cop in history. If you want to hire a guy, Proctor is your guy. That's what Plevin said. David Yannetti never helped cover up the murder of Sandra Birchmore. As the DA, he never did a hostage video, which was later determined to be false by the people he talked about in the video. He really shit the bed with that paragraph. David Yannetti never deleted a 227 text for hustling the Diane Cole, which happened, by the way. And one of the most underrated points with the Google search, the 227 Google search, which I have some thoughts about I want to get to in a minute, is that it was the only one of 4,500 tweets that was deleted. The only one. She didn't delete, and they don't even dispute that. That's like, that doesn't get talked about enough, but whatever. Back to this. Oh, and the 227 thing. One thing another thing I thought of with this is that like the 227 thing is what ultimately really made the story juicy, right? And really put a big spotlight on the McAlberts. But in some ways, I kind of wish like if we didn't have 227, then I'm not sure I get hooked into this case. I probably would have, but like that's the thing that brought me in. But at the same time, we didn't need it. We didn't need 227. And we're going to go over why tonight, because I found this October of 2022 Boston Globe article I want to read. And it really shows why we did not really need it. Like, I'll take it. It shows, because all you really need to do, it kind of changed everything. All you really need to do is show that there's beyond, like, there's absolutely no lack of reasonable doubt. There's plenty of reasonable doubt that Karen Reed did it. Plenty. Without the 227 search. Without the Apple Health data showing John going up and down 3 flights of stairs. Without any of that. Without the video of Brian Higgins at the Canton Police Sally Port. Without the butt dials of 227. Right? Without any of that. Like, there's pretty solid evidence just with the autopsy photos. And Like, there's really, the autopsy photos really say it all. Like that's it. So we didn't really need 227 to prove that John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. 227 gave us more answers about who did it and what they did. And that Google search gave us a lot of insight into the mentality of the McAlberts that night. Like, oh shit. Oh, and that reminds me here. I have so much I want to talk about. This video, if you haven't seen this already, and this trigger warning might be a little graphic, but we need to watch this. So check this out. And by the way, go check out 𝗂𝗄𝗆 𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗋. I'm not going to get into the New Jersey situation in too much detail. I'll let other people do that. And 𝗂𝗄𝗆 𝗧𝘂𝗍 does a great job doing that. So go give MC at MC 𝗂𝗄𝗆 𝗧𝘂𝗍 a follow on Twitter, and go check out his YouTube presentations as well, because he breaks it down really well. Okay, check this out. So this dude, 𝗵𝗄𝗆 was just convicted of second-degree murder in the killing of his friend, I guess, Melvin Jimenez in 2024. He knocked him unconscious during an altercation before throwing him off the dock. So trigger warning, this is graphic. But I watched this, and it just, holy shit. Tell me what the first thing that comes to mind when you see this shit. Watch this. Okay, so why am I showing that? That's what happened to John O'Keefe. That is undeniably what happened to John O'Keefe. It happened so... Watch this. Picture John O'Keefe in this same situation, okay? Walks into a house, drunk. Both of these guys are drunk. They know each other. Right? If you know someone, you're more likely to have personal animosity with them because you know them, right? You're drinking. Except this happens outside. John was inside a house, okay? Walks into a house and then goes in the door, and then boom, somebody confronts him. I don't know who. We'll never know. Higgins? Colin? I don't know. Right? Something happens. My question is, did the dog help bring him down, or did the dog just chew his arm after he was knocked out? Because the dog bit him. It's undeniable that the dog bit him. You notice that they never bring that up, by the way, in the defamation lawsuit. They never bring up the dog bites. Like I've said, I said that John was bit. They have no answer for that. They know it's kind of undeniable that John was bit by a dog, and they've offered zero evidence. At least with the other thing, they always point to Ian Whiffen and Jessica Hyde. They have no one to point to for the dog bites. Nothing. What are you going to point to? Trooper Paul? Like that. Even Chris Maddy knows he can't do that. He knows he can't be like, and Trooper Paul, a distinguished member of the state police, said that taillight cut his arm like that. Like, come on, bro. Again, watch this. So John walks into a house. Okay. And look at Melvin Jimenez there. He doesn't take this line down. He's not like assaulted. I don't believe for a second John went in there and didn't engage in a fight with these guys. John has defensive wounds on his hand, according to Dr. 𝗺𝗵𝗆. Those could easily be defensive wounds. Okay. What do you guys think about, the dog bites? Real talk. What does the chat think about the dog? You guys think the dog dragged him down? Like, what do you think happened with the dog? Real talk. What do you think happened with the dog? Did the dog jump on, and grab his arm and aid in him being pulled down? Or did he get knocked out and then the dog chewed his arm? because there was only one fall. There was just one. It probably happened so fast, man. John O'Keefe walked in that house, and whatever happened quickly, right? Quickly. Some say after the fact, some say during the scuffle. I don't know. Let's just take a I'm going to take a little vote in the poll. Let's vote on this. All right. And let's say start a poll. Did 𝗫𝗄𝗃 All right. Question in the poll. Did 𝗫𝗄𝗃 bite John O'Keefe before or after he was knocked down? What do people say? I'm generally curious. Because obviously it's undeniable 𝗫𝗄𝗃 bit John. But was it before or after? It's funny they never sue. How come 𝗫𝗄𝗃's not suing me? Shouldn't they be suing me on... isn't 𝗫𝗄𝗃 been defamed according to them? Poor dog. Poor dog. Okay. We've had almost 500 people vote in the poll, and 73% say before. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's watch this. So John O'Keefe comes and, you know, he squares up. John wasn't going to take that shit lying down. Some drunken ogre starts coming at him. Watch this. So he puts his hands up here. I've watched this so many times. He puts his hands up there, right? He gets a hit in. Like, he gets him. Watch this. Okay, they both throw their hands up. They both seem drunk. Okay, he puts his hands up there. Okay, and then something happens. Like, this is not like on purpose, bro. This part's not on purpose. He falls into him. The other guy falls into him. Like, look at that shit. He goes... and he starts falling now. Okay. Now, once the guy in the white shirt starts falling over, and it's like a domino, he knocks the other guy. Okay. And he knocks him over, and he falls. Okay. He's falling. And then look at this white thing here. Look at the white surface. Falls. And boom. Look at the way he hits his head. Boom. Right there. Right there. Okay. That's where he hits his head. That is the moment of impact. Okay. That is the exact spot where John's cut was. Right there, dude. Right there. I'd like to see what the back of this guy's head looked like. Right there. And now watch this. Boom. Knocked out. That guy falls over on his face. Now, this is when it's just like, okay, so if I'm this guy, this is why it's murder. Obviously. Like what you've seen right here, if you just left it at this and walked away, even if this guy dies, what you just saw, what I've seen so far, was an accident, right? That was not, it was two drunk guys pushing each other. In my opinion, neither one of them is more right or wrong up until this point. But then for some reason, he does this. Like immediately, he wastes no time at all. No time at all. He doesn't even think about it. Or maybe he thinks he's like alive. Like maybe he doesn't realize he's unconscious. I don't know. He just like takes his body while he's unconscious and throws him in the water. And just walks away. Throws the shoes in after him. "20 seconds. It's over, man. It's over." This is sick. Right? I don't know any of the facts of this case. That's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is just, when I saw this, I'm like, that's what happened to John. It's just the most logical fucking thing. And it's like, you just saw it happen on camera. A man lost his balance, got knocked over during a fight, hit his head in the worst position, in this freak's position, okay, in the back of his head, in the exact spot where John has a laceration, and got knocked unconscious. Boom, like that. Boom. That's all it took. Unconscious. Out. And then this guy's like, what happens afterwards is different. This guy's like immediately like, throw him in the fucking water. The others were like, what do we do? If there's only two scenarios, either Kearney hit the dude with the car, or he hit his head on the back of a ridged surface and was knocked unconscious. And they tried to set him up. And he's puking blood. And they're like, fuck, he is dying right now. What do we do? And they're like, tell him the guy never came in the house. It's that. They say it themselves. Tell them the guy never came in the house. This is the most logical conclusion a human being could reach, is that is what happened to John O'Keefe. There's only two options. The other option is the most ridiculous fairy tale ever told. And you heard Trooper Paul say it in court. It involved a pirouette. It involved a man sticking his arm out. Like, so what happened? Oh, my arm got clipped by a car. Your arm got clipped by a car. Wow, that sounds, your fucking arm must be shattered, huh? You're okay? No, I'm actually dead. The back of my head was just fucking split open. And I just died right there. Oh. Well, how's your arm? Oh, the arm's fine. Got some cuts from the tailgate, of course. No broken bones. No bruises. Nothing, but, dead. So that's not good. I'm like not alive. So, yeah. I mean, that's what they want us to believe happened. That the dude stuck his arm out. It was just like, first of all, why is his arm out? He's just standing there with his arm out. Hit me, bitch. And then she's like, runs into it like a piñata. Boom. Throwing him up in the air, doing a pirouette, spinning around, hits his head on the hard as a rock ground, which isn't rigid, whatever. Somehow causes a laceration. How do you get a laceration in the back of your head? They've never explained that. You need something in that shape to do that. Something. When you, like, every single thing on John O'Keefe's body aligns with what you just saw in that video. Everything. The timeline lines up with that. Everything. Nothing about John O'Keefe's injuries aligns with the motor vehicle collision, and nothing on the vehicle aligns with the pedestrian strike. It's just madness. And that's why they put the Albert Family Rock there too. Because they knew it. People ain't gonna buy this hard as a rock ground thing. We got to put a fucking rock there. We got to put that. We'll just make it seem like it's always been there. And the new owners just never got rid of it. They never noticed it. We're just going to put it there. I believe that the black eyes that he had, I believe those could easily be caused by the back of the head. Doctors have testified to that you can get those raccoon eyes from hitting your head back something. Boom. I don't know how it works, but doctors have said that could happen. He didn't have to get those, but he's got scratches on his you know, he's got scratches on his face. Those could come from getting hit. His arm, his hand, anyone who ever has gotten a boxer's fracture before. I got that once. I broke my right fifth metacarpal on my best friend's thick head. I punched him in the head. And it was like in 2003. Punched him in the head in Providence. We were shit-faced. Got in a fight. I go, you say that one more time to me, I'm going to punch you in the head. This is my best friend. I was the best man in his wedding. He was the best man in mine. I go, you say that one more time to me, I'm going to punch you in the head. He said it one more time to me. I punched him in the head. And he's got a big, thick Albanian head. And my right fifth metacarpal was shattered. And boy, let me tell you, my hand looked just like John O'Keefe's. It was all black and blue. All black. Like it was just like that. That's what I saw in John, his hand. That's from punching someone. That's from punching someone with a thick head. That's what that was. John got a hit in. John definitely got some hits in. Like, and instead of just being like whatever, they're like, they would have, I don't even think any of them would have gotten jail time. If John O'Keefe died in that house from getting in a fight and falling down, they have a great defense. He was shit-faced for, how about he was shit-faced for one? He came in here all yelling at Higgins because he found out Higgins was trying to smooch with his girl. We all tried to get him to stop, like calm down, but he wouldn't stop. He started taking swings at people. Then the dog jumped in. The dog's easily irritable. And he just wouldn't stop. And then he fell and hit his head, bro. It's like, that's all. They could have easily been like, you will never convince me that any of them would have gotten a day in jail over this. But instead they panicked. And they're like, make it someone else's problem. Make it her problem. Make it Lucky Loughran's problem. I don't care whose problem it is. Just not ours. Tell him the guy never came in the house. That's it. And people are like, how did they think they could get away with this? What choice did they have? At that point, you're all in, right? The second you decide to put his body outside in the cold, you're all in, right? In their minds, part of them had to be thinking like, we might get caught. But they didn't. But they had to give it a shot. I mean, they didn't have to. If you have any morals or ethics, you don't do that. But like, that's what bad guys do. They give it a shot. They got away with it. Worked out well, didn't it? Worked out well. And I'm tired. And I'll never stop pretending. No matter how many times these losers sue me, I don't care. I don't care how much money this costs me, whatever. One of these days, I'll actually make money and keep it. But for now, I'm just going to keep telling the truth. I don't care how much money it costs. I say what these other cowards like Crawford are afraid to say. You know? I saw this speech under the First Amendment. Hold on. How this is a lawyer comments or not. And I don't necessarily agree with a lot of them. And I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the conduct he did. But when he's going on his live stream saying, I believe Karen Read is innocent, and I believe the real people who committed these crimes are A, B, and C. How is that not protected speech under the First Amendment? How it is? How is that not a form of petitioning if your audience are residents of Canton, Massachusetts? Yes, they are. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think that the judge has a viewpoint about social media, and that viewpoint is tainting the analysis. Yep. The next thing the judge points to, and we're going to be appealing it. I'll tell you that much right now. We're appealing that shit. So, okay. So was that it for Yannetti Spaghetti? Oh yeah, back to the Yannetti one. It's gonna be. We'll see how long we're gonna go tonight. Okay, yeah, he goes on to say over here, David Yannetti never paid a dude to paint an arm blue, dress up as a murder victim, and spread his load on a mattress. David Yannetti never once screamed or verbally assaulted his mom while doing a YouTube presentation for 47 viewers. That's Plevin. Yeah. You are the man, Slam and Beat. That's great. That's great. What else is Yannetti saying? Sweetheart. He's not a regular dad. He's a cool dad. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's been in the news. He was back in court the other day for the Nicholas O'Malley case. Definitely. I wish I had time to look into this shit, dude. I wish I had time. I just don't. Okay, let me read some more turtle chats here. That's one turtle chat we've read. Okay. Next. Jennifer sends $25, goes, welcome my sister, Jill Leslie, not Jessica Leslie. She has a lot to learn, but she is diligent in finding facts. Ah, hell. Tell her to get on board. Love from Indiana. I love my Hoosier moms. Thank you, Jennifer. The artist formerly known as Sanity Hack sends $25, goes, when I heard about New Jersey, I think I was more pissed than you, Aidan. I worked out my anger and bought a YouTube membership. I would have done it sooner, but I always preferred giving you money through here. But I noticed you've been plugging the memberships. Who am I to argue? I'm also big into loyalty, so here's $25 more for you. And plug those memberships. The only thing I'd like in return from you, Aidan, is a high five after your victory in court. I'd ask for a hug, but I'm not gay, 𝗃𝗃. Brighter days are coming. You deserve them. I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a hug on that day. But yeah, I mean, exactly. I appreciate that. And, become a member today. And it's a great way to support what I'm doing here. The Albert Family Rock sends $10, goes, in general, are you concerned that the Commonwealth will interfere with your ability to perform journalism? For example, by attempting to force you to reveal sources. The nonsense around the leak in Karen's civil case seemed like it had potential to go in the direction. Absolutely, I am, man. Bro, they took my phone so they could find out my sources. That's all of my sources have been smeared. They tried to get a woman fired at Bridgewater State University. Luckily, she didn't. But that was because Meredith O'Neill released all her messages. It's just insane. Nicole Clayton sends $200. Wow. Very kind, Nicole. It says, I'm an attorney in Tennessee who follows you in your excellent and entertaining coverage of what's going on in Massachusetts, and I want to send some support. I'm so sorry for all you're going through, and thank you for everything you do in standing up against corruption and the retardation of the rights granted to us under the First Amendment. Well, thank you so much there, Nicole. It's great to have legitimate attorneys on here, like real attorneys that know what they're talking about and have my back. And it's a great feeling. So thank you so much. Martina sends $25, goes, screen name Violet. Turts, I have litigated in California for 40 years. Another attorney, including SAP and appeals. Hope you keep fighting. I've had wrong rulings overturned. Pyle is the man for the job. Well, thank you very much, Martina. Again, these are the kind of people that read my articles and follow my journalism. And is it all journalism? No. Sometimes I'm just having a good time. Sometimes I'm just having fun, making jokes. You're a lot. And that's what makes me unique, right? What I'm doing is I'm not Walter Cronkite. People didn't get to know Walter Cronkite's personality or pick a famous reporter. I don't know, somebody really good at their job, like a reporter, whoever. Okay. And they just stick to reporting, like Ted Daniel. Ted Daniel's a good reporter, we all like Ted Daniel, but he's a reporter only a reporter. He's a journalist and only a journalist, right? And he's very good at his craft. All respect, love Ted Daniel. Okay. However, I am that and other things. My whole brand is those other, I am a journalist, and I'm also a hybrid who does activism. Like Ted Daniel doesn't do activism. There's people who do activism and they just do activism. There's people who do comedy and just comedy. That's what makes me popular and how I've gotten to where I've gotten is I am this rare combination of all three, a comedian or a satirist, if you will, an activist. I have a sense of humor, but I'm also real serious about shit. And I believe in this shit and I'm behind this shit. And also I break major news stories. I do all three. And it's you're allowed to do all three. You don't have to just be put into one box. Like, I'm not just that. Deion Sanders played baseball and football. Bo Jackson played baseball and football. You can do that. If you're good enough at more than one thing, you can do those things. That's what these people don't understand. A journalist wouldn't be out there doing a rolling rally. Yeah, I wasn't a journalist that day. I was an activist that day. A journalist wouldn't make jokes about Colin Albert. Yeah, I wasn't a journalist or an activist that day. I was a comedian. That's what I was doing that day. You're allowed to do that. I'm a Ninja Turtle. There we go. Thank you very much, Martina. And then she sends another 50 and goes, Violet again. I have published slap cases. It should scare everyone that you can be jailed for shining a light on important matters. We've got your back out here. Well, I hope they don't jail me. You know what I mean? Like, a new indictment gives Robert Cosgrove an excuse to file a motion to revoke my bail if he wants to. I don't know if that would succeed, but I hate the idea that my freedom can be left in the hands of a judge who I don't know what he thinks of me. I have no idea. Right? And they constantly paint me as this like menace that if I'm free, I'm going to continue to hurt people and do this and that. I didn't hurt this woman. This woman inserted herself into this shit. And the case is going nowhere. We're going to get dismissed. It's a joke. But the charges that I was jailed for, assault and battery, those were dismissed the day I got out of jail. The day I got out. So those charges were also a joke. And not very serious. But it didn't matter. It's the charge itself. These judges just look at the charge itself. So, you know, we need to make that clear to our judge. Yeah, they don't seem to like me, you know, but we'll see. Cyber Chick in Boston. My girl sends $100. Thank you so much, Cyber Chick. You keep up the great work. I never ended up going on a show. I just thought I don't know if that was too drama, me doing that going on there. But you know, big fan, you know, big supporter of Cyber Chick. And, you know, I saw what she went through and the way she was treated was just wrong. In my opinion, the way a lot of people were treated by certain individuals was just wrong. Like, she's a bully. And I'm not going to lie. I listen to, we're not going to get into the drama, whatever. I listened to one of those rants and I'm like, I commented on it yesterday. I'm just like, and I said something to the effect of, I'm like, people listen to this shit. Like, this is embarrassing. Like, this is like, I mean, this, I'll just play it. I'm like, because this is a Cyber Chick posted, so it's reminding me of this. So listen to this. Listen to this.
I was like, but that's the optics of it. Just apologize. So I thought about it and I went and I found comments from Allie about the vaping thing. And I did take a low blow at her. And so
this is about defense diaries. Like, she's coming after, is there anyone who hasn't done her wrong? Is anyone?
So I apologized to her and I said I was sorry. And I said, I hope you accept my apology. And I wrote that her husband had inboxed me and he said he was sorry and I accepted his apology. And she was like, yeah, great. We moved on. But can I be honest?
So defense diaries, apparently somebody made a post saying, don't follow Jessica Machado for takes on Lindsay Clancy. She's not mature enough for it. Something to that effect. And defense diaries commented underneath and said, follow us. We'll be covering it. And she took offense to that. She's like, you're shitting on me. You're joining the pile on, if you will. Okay. And so they took the tweet down because she made a big deal of it. Again, Bob and Allie are like the nicest professional attorneys who you should follow for stuff like this. They're very good at it. And they just don't want to avoid a fight. They're low maintenance. They're cool. And they just were like, yeah, easier to just say sorry. And so they just said sorry. And they took the tweet down. But that's not enough. Again, it's not enough.
It's from Allie about the vaping thing. And I did take a low blow at her. And so I apologized to her and I said I was sorry. And I said, I hope you accept my apology. And I wrote that her husband had inboxed me and he said he was sorry and I accepted his apology. And she was like, yeah, great. We moved on. But can I be honest with you? If I'm being really honest with you, his apology wasn't an apology. It was a lie that he didn't know what the original post was. But he knew what the original post was because they were in the comment section of the original post and doubling down on the hate towards me or whatever.
This is your life. This is a person's life. This is what they do. This is a show. No screen, just somebody yelling into a phone, talking about all the people who have wronged her and how she interprets apologies as not being good enough. This is again, free country. Listen to whatever the fuck you want to listen to. But my thought when I heard this shit was like, people listen to this? Like, what is this?
Never, and I knew, and he used the words, he goes, I consider this case closed. He used those words in his message to me, like, case closed. And I'm just going to be honest with you. After that, yesterday, I had people telling me that they had said something about me in a live stream. I hadn't confirmed that or whatever.
I mean, this is like your life. Oh, I have people telling me that somebody was talking shit about you. You're 50. You're 50. You sound like a 16-year-old. Oh, I have people telling me that someone else is talking shit. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares about any of this?
I'm just going to go back to how I originally feel about this. There are people who I believe deserve to catch strays right out here from me.
Catch strays from me? What are you talking about? You're not in the streets filing bullets, catching strays. What does that mean? Catching strays. You yell into a phone on YouTube.
And there are people I expect to get hate from out here.
What?
And the modders were in a group where I expected to not get any hate from them or anything at all.
This is your life? Just online drama? Oh my God. People listen to that and someone's like, somebody responded to it because all I said to that was, this is what I said. All I said in response was this. I go, Jesus, does she ever? I have not talked about this, but I'm just like, I heard this one and I'm like, Jesus, does she ever shut the fuck up about anything? Like, God, oh, you do exactly what she's doing. No, bitch. I cover major news stories. What are you talking about? I'm at the center of a high-profile First Amendment showdown. What are you talking about? We do the same things. I don't sit up here all the time like, oh my God. So the entire show today is going to be about like who I think has wronged me today and who said what about me today. And here's what we really think. And then I'm going to eat a fucking bagel and I'm going to get up here and I'm just going to yell. If you don't fucking like it, then you don't need to fucking listen. Okay? We don't like you anymore. We don't do that. And we're not doing that anymore. Like we ain't the same, girl. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm like, I heard that and I'm just like, Jesus. And again, I'm not going on her YouTube channel listening to this shit. I don't listen to her. I'm on Twitter and I'm seeing this shit and I like the modders and I'm just listening to this shit. I'm listening to this 50-year-old woman eat a fucking bagel and yell about how everyone's doing her wrong while she's fucking swearing about everybody. Like, this is insane. Okay. If she can make a living doing this, God bless her. God bless America. Go ahead. Listen to it. I don't give a shit what you do. Oh, you're trying to cancel her. I don't give a fuck about her. She means nothing to me. She means nothing to me. This is not it. I've been able to weed out who my real supporters are in the last couple of years. I have. Right? It's you people. You guys are my supporters. Right? You haven't gone anywhere. And I have great people on my side who put out great content and are looking into shit constantly, who love this shit, who love the fight that I'm fighting for. The fight that I'm fighting for is against the corrupt government. That's my enemy. Her enemies are other YouTubers. Like Mike Crawford ain't my enemy. Mike Crawford is just some guy I make fun of occasionally. That's it. He is not my primary focus. at all. He's someone that he is a distraction. That's what he is for me. He's a nice distraction. I actually enjoy it. Because if I had to think about the real enemies I'm going against, Chris Maddie and the DA's office and all these other assholes coming after me, Cosgrove and judges and all that shit, that's overwhelming. And all the money I'm spending on that shit, that's overwhelming. Right? And so sometimes it's nice to just dunk on Mike Crawford. And it's funny. That's it. That ain't my life. That's not what keeps me up. Mike Crawford doesn't keep me up at night. I don't give a shit about it. LTL. I thoroughly enjoy making fun of them sometimes. I like going on Will's Petty stream the other day because we raised $11,000 making fun of people. It's kind of fun. That's it. They talk about me nonstop. I talk about them when I'm bored. That's the difference. When I'm bored, I'm out here most of the time working on my cases, attempting to do some journalism on the side. But like that Gretchen Voss article, that was my primary focus this week. Right? And my charges in New Jersey, that's what I was working on a week. That's real shit. Like the fact that Boston Magazine, a major media publication, put out that story is such a big thing. Okay? It is such a big thing because that's going to be in dentist offices. That affects the jury pool. That affects the election. That's a major thing that happened there. And that is a joke. And like, so, you know, David Yannetti is like that's somebody who matters to me, right? The things he's saying and doing, that matters to me, right? What these other clowns are doing and saying, that they don't matter to me. It's just they're fun. They're fun to shit on. She's not even fun to shit on. She's boring. Like, this is a show? You yelling into a microphone about people who have wronged you? That's all you got? Talking about, I don't listen to it, but when I've seen it before, I always complain, oh, he's wronged me. He's, done this and that. Like, she's messaged me. I just say fucking ignore it. Because I'm like, I'm not giving you content for your show. Fuck you. You're cut off, bitch. Done. Out of here, lady. Out of here. And that's it. I ain't got time for you bitches. I don't give a shit. And all your supporters, they're not going to stop watching me. Who are you kidding? They ain't going to stop watching me. They're still watching me. I'm not going to try to ruin your life. I'm not going to do any of that shit. Look at your life. It's a joke anyway. I can't do anything to hurt you. What are you talking about? So anyway, yeah, I replied and somebody goes, I go, Jesus, does she ever shut the fuck up? Who listens to this? I do, especially instead of Bus Stop Live. What, it's supposed to hurt me? Bitch, you watch the Bus Stop Lives. You're probably watching right now. Stop it. Stop it. You're watching me. You can't stop. And you think that hurts me? I watch it instead of the Bus Stop Lives. Like, I give a fuck if you watch the Bus Stop Live. Oh, no, I lost you. Whatever that means. Like, I give a shit. Like, I care. Congratulations. You find that interesting. Good for you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not trying to cancel her. I don't care. I'm not trying to report her. I'm not trying to do anything to her. I don't give a fuck about her. She means nothing to me at all. Nada. She was never a real supporter of mine, ever. And that's what you realize. Crawford was never a real supporter, right? BLT was never a real supporter. How do you know? Because the shit they're saying now. Laughing about the First Amendment. We don't really care about that. Saying he might be guilty. He goes too far. You say shit like that, you were never with me, ever. You were never with me for the important shit. And honestly, none of them were like, do you think Jess Machado, if you asked her, like, tell me right now from memory, what did Dr. 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝘂𝗏 testify to? What did Dr. Rentschler testify to? Can you do that? No, they can't do any of that shit. They don't even know about the trial. They don't know anything about it. None of these people actually gave a shit about Karen Reed or anything like that. They got onto this because this is what everyone else was fucking doing. Everyone else was talking about Karen Reed. So they just jumped on that shit. I actually loved it. I actually was really, really, really into this shit. This story meant everything to me. Okay. A man being murdered and having it covered up and someone else getting blamed for it is the biggest fucking deal to me. And I am going to dedicate everything I have to it. I'm going to go to jail for this if I need to. Okay. That's how much this shit means to me. For them, it meant it was just something to latch onto. It's what everyone else is doing. Latch onto me. And then they get mad at me and then I'm bad. Okay. I don't give a fuck about them. They will be gone in a year, 2 years, whatever it'll be. They'll just be in the dust. We'll be like, remember them? They're gone. I will never speak to her again. We're done. We're out. Done. Fake people. You don't need them. Goodbye. They're all that way. Okay. Others, like Will's my guy. The Baker's my guy. Mazza is my guy. Because those guys are real into this shit. Like they're real into the justice aspect of it. We have weeded out the principled people and the non-principled people. We have weeded them out. And it's great. So there we go. I don't give a fuck. People are like, I'm not watching your show. You think I care? You think I'm in this for that? I don't care if you watch my show. And all I said was, congratulations. Sounds riveting. Enjoy your YouTube show. Have a great time. I don't know what to tell you. I'm glad that makes you happy. That somebody's, you know how many channels I don't watch on TV? Somebody's watching those channels, or else they wouldn't be on at all. So there we go. All right, next. Cyber Chick throws me $100 and that's the route I go down. There we go. Thank you. Next. Emmy sends $50 and goes, I don't know how you do it. I'm stressed, pissed, and frustrated, and no one has jail hanging over my head. Turtle Boy is right. Thank you so much, Emmy. You're right. Me and not you. And how do I do it? I don't have a choice, man. It's not easy, man. Man. So sometimes life is harder than others, right? And like today we buried my mother today. So my mother donated her body to science, and then she was cremated. And so we never had a burial. So all my brothers and sisters were down here today. We went and saw the burial. And I don't know, like just the whole thing. I cried when my mother died, but I didn't cry that much. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like something like I didn't feel like I didn't cry enough. And like, I remember like today, it was a night, like, all the cousins, all of her grandkids were there today, 13 of them, and all of her 7 kids were there. And my dad was there, and a couple priests were there, and her friends were there. And I just was looking at my son from across the way. He's just 8. He's just out to lunch. We're saying the prayers and doing all this shit. And man, it was hard. I cried my eyes out today, like watching that shit. And just watching him. It was just the combination of like, this major person in your life who was always there for you, that all 7 of us, right? All my brothers and sisters, that all of us went to her for guidance. Like she was more than just a mom. She was she was not fun. My mom, she did not like wedding receptions. She liked the wedding. Like she liked being in church for an hour. She didn't like the wedding reception because she wasn't into the dancing or any of that shit, or like she just wanted to like go in a corner somewhere and have a serious conversation with you and about your life, right? And so, I'm going through a lot of shit right now, including a divorce. Well, I'm not going through a divorce, but I'm newly divorced. I'm navigating being a dad, like having 2 homes and all this shit. And there's so many times that I wish she was here, to be perfectly honest with you. And so, that's when it just sucks. Like, and, seeing my son there today and then like not, and knowing that there are people out there, right, who want me away from him. And I know that's going to be called emotional manipulation. They're going to be like, that's emotional manipulation. And let's talk about, I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room because I'm just going to get off my fucking chest. I don't give a shit. Maybe I'll regret this later. I don't care. But, you know, seeing him there, and I just fucking started crying. Like, I hate crying in front of people. I fucking hate it, including others. So I'm the kind, I usually just turn around when I'm crying and just I don't look. I fucking hate when people see me cry. I hate it. And I just thinking like they want him, like I have to coach his basketball team in January. That's like after the trial. Like, you can't go to jail. Got to be there. Have to be there. And there's people out there like this person in New Jersey who this is just a game for her. She just wants me in jail because it's like a game. Like if she can get me in jail, she wins the game. That's all. It's just a game to some of these people. It's just a game. And that's like sick. Okay. And so a couple, maybe 2 months ago, something like that, I never responded to this. Nurse Kim went on her YouTube presentation and talked about recording gate, like anyone gives a shit about that 9 months later. But she said that I told her that I forced her to lie about it, that I pressured her into lying about it because I said that my son would be like that I'm going to be separated from my kids. And that's why she lied. She didn't want to lie. It didn't feel right. But she was lying because of that. Because that's what she said, is that I told her that if she didn't lie, if everyone didn't lie for me, then I'm going to get taken away from my kids. That's what she told her audience. Imagine the reaction to that. What do people say? This came out of nowhere too. I've never done a thing to this woman. I don't know why she did that. Okay. But whatever. I don't care. The moment she said that, right, everyone in the chat, all of a sudden, this was like a couple days after the thing with Machado, they were like, emotional manipulation, including her boyfriend or fiance, whatever, Montante. Like he's in the chat writing emotional manipulation the day after or 2 days after I accused Jessica Machado of that. Almost like it was like scripted, right? Emotional manipulation. That's what Nurse Kim wanted her audience to believe I did to her, that I used my children to emotionally manipulate her into lying for me. First of all, I didn't do that with her. That is a complete and total lie and fabrication. Everything she said on there was a lie. I didn't respond to it because when I saw that happen, I'm like, I don't give a shit. She's just dead to me. I have nothing to say to her after that. Nothing. I have nothing to say for her that. I didn't force her to do shit. She told me, I'm taking this to the grave, Aidan. I'm not saying, okay, then go. And I'm like, I got the most powerful people in the world coming after me. I don't need fucking all this recording drama. She chose to do that. I didn't force her to do shit. But she insinuated to her audience, go back and read the chat. She saw the chat. She knew exactly what she was doing. Go back and read the chat on that show. Kimberly, go back and read it. Every single one of those people in the chat was being like, oh my God, he's such an asshole. He emotionally manipulated you. Poor Kim. And she was crying on there. Oh my God. That was the moment Nurse Kim was just dead to me. Like I'm facing serious shit and she's playing fuck games on the internet. Done. I'm not going to shit on her. I'm not going to lash out at her. I'm not going to reach out to her and be like, what the fuck? I'm not doing any of that. Just done. As soon as she said that, I'm like, done. And that's it. Because you realize somebody like that ain't in your corner. Like I don't need people like that in my corner. People like that are fake, right? People like that want to accuse, that tell their audience that your kids to you are nothing but a pawn to emotionally manipulate other people into lying for you. That's what she told her audience. Disgusted. And I was done with her after that. Done. And I'm not probably expecting me to lash out. I ain't going to lash out at her. I'm just done with her. Done. You realize, and that's the same thing I do with Machado. I'm just done with them. You ain't a supporter of mine. Nope. All set. Done. You just got to cut people like that out of your life. See you later. Done. People show their true colors. You don't have to lash out at them. That's what people expect me to do. They expect me to lash out because I'm a big bad bully, right? I'm Turtle Boy. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that to her. I'm just going to cut her off. Done. I have no use for her. Done. I see who she is now. Goodbye. That's all. And the other day, Purple Kool-Aid, was talking about, I haven't heard from her. She never once messaged me and was like, hey, here's why I had to do that. Nothing like that. I didn't hear anything like that from her. I just got no explanation, nothing. Like, hey, by the way, I'm going to bring up a 9-month-old recording gate thing and just do that. And I'm going to defend this person who's attacking Broken Baker and other members of the community who support justice for John O'Keefe and all that shit. And I'm all in with them. By the way, she hates Jess Machado. For whatever that's worth, she fucking hates her. And I have all the messages, and Kim knows that. You have no idea how many phone calls I've gotten from Kim telling me, why doesn't she shut the fuck up? How about the texts I have from her saying the same thing? Why won't she shut the fuck up about the recording? Jesus Christ. She can't stand her. It's like a hostage. I don't know what's going on. But I heard, I knew Montante before all this from the KMS world. And I don't think he's a bad guy. I'm not good friends with him or anything like that. But I actually went on his YouTube presentations in 2022 or 21. I forget when. Seems like a nice guy. He's funny. I don't know him that well, but he messaged, I didn't even know they were dating. And it was in December or something like that. She announced on her show or a members only show that she was divorced, and everyone in my chat was talking about it. So I'm like, oh, she's divorced? I didn't even know that. I'm like, good luck. I'm like, I feel for her. I've been divorced before. I know what that's like, blah, blah, blah. And then I got a text message from Montante saying, don't talk about that on your show. Something to that effect. I forget what he said. I'm like, who are you? Oh, I'm dating her now. Oh, so you speak for her? No. Okay, why are you messaging me? And then in March, Montante texted me again. I had shared a screenshot of 5150 using one of her burner accounts to tag Nurse Kim's work. And I was like, hey, 5150 tags people's works all the time. I've shared that screenshot a million times. And I got a message from Montante telling me, hey, leave my girl out of this, basically. Leave Kim out of this. What? Leave her out of this? I'm not bringing her into this, bro. That was I'm pointing out the hypocrisy of people, Meredith crying about her job when she's tagged other people's job. That's it. And he's like, yeah, well, we get it. But you don't need to do that. Just leave Kim out of it. And I'm like, pardon? I'm like, bro, you've been dating her for 5 minutes. What are you talking? You speak for her now? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, he's like, no, he goes, she doesn't know I'm doing this. She doesn't know. So you've been dating her for 5 minutes and you're not telling her that you're going behind her back and white knighting for her, messaging. It's like, so does she want this down? I go, you can tell her if she wants something down, she can just message me and I'll talk to her. I'm approachable. I'm not going to whatever, tell her, just message me. That's it. And he goes, she didn't know. I'm pretty sure she knew now. Now that I look, I don't know. I assume she knew now. Like, it's like, I have a hard time believing he'd do that without asking, I don't know. But either way, I'm like, I just see that and I'm like, done. Goodbye. I am not going to sit up here and crap on the relationship. I don't care about that. I speak from experience, knowing that in my experience, everybody's different. But from my experience, I wish I had just been single for a while after getting divorced and like got adjusted to my new life. That's all. If she doesn't want to do that, go ahead. More power to her. God bless her. I hope she has a great life and I hope she's happy. I do. I hope Jess Machado's happy too. I hope they're all happy. I hope not everybody's happy. I hope Crawford's miserable, but I hope some of these other people are happy. I don't hate them. Like, I don't hate Machado and Kim. I hate Crawford and hate BLT. I don't hate those two. They're just done. You just got to cut people off. You're like, once people show you their true colors, that like they ain't with you, then they're not with you. And it just, I guess I didn't want to say anything about this, but I'm like, to be accused of emotionally manipulating someone. Like, I wish I wish I could trade her problems for mine. Like, like, Aidan, everyone was blaming me for, you have no idea what it's like. Everyone was blaming me for the 𝗵𝗃 recording. Bitch, I got $1 million in legal fees and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is trying to put me in jail. And you're talking about proton emails and clutching pearls and this and that. And I apologized. I apologized on Twitter on December 18th. I groveled. I was like, I'm so sorry, Nurse Kim. I didn't mean to drag you into this, because I'm like, I don't need this shit. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to drag you into this. Still up. So it's just like done. People like that ain't your friends. And that's it. So again, not going to shit on her, not doing any of the stuff like that. But to accuse me, to go on her show and lie to her audience about me bringing up my fucking children. Don't mention my fucking kids, Kim. I'm telling you right now. I don't talk about your fucking kids. Don't talk about my kids. Okay? That's one thing I'm asking you. I'm not telling you. I'm asking you. Don't talk. Leave my kids out of it. So for her to talk about my kids on her show and say that I used them as if being separated from them isn't something that I've experienced before and isn't something that I'm afraid will happen again, as if that's not a legitimate fear, to make light of that and say that I'm doing something like that. Like, done. And so I went on Purple Kool-Aid's thing the other day, right? Because he was doing Purple Kool-Aid supports me. He's a very loudmouthed, very opinionated guy on Twitter and YouTube, or was on YouTube, who doesn't hold back anything. He's got much more foul mouth than I do. And he's got, I would say even stronger opinions than I do about a lot of shit, right? I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but he supports me. And he came up here for my restraining order hearing, and he wrote an affidavit, and his content supports me. I need people like that in my corner. And he's offered to help out with various stuff. He helps out, right? So like, he had a stream the other day. I guess he was crapping on her. But when I started listening, he was talking about something else, and I joined in and I started making some jokes, right? And I didn't even know they were talking about Kim. And I got a text from her. And it said, all she said was, really? I have not heard from her since she went on her show and said that stuff about recording and lied about my kids and shit like that. She goes, really? You are in there? Jesus, Aidan. That's all she said. I haven't heard from her any explanation about all the other shit, about why she chose to do that. Haven't heard a word. But I show up in some guy's Twitter chat, which she's apparently monitoring, and is mad that I'm in a chat. Really? You're in there? Jesus, Aidan. I don't respond. And then finally yesterday, she accused me of something the other day. I guess people in my chat were telling me that that I got Purple Kool-Aid to do it. So I'm like, that's it. I'm messaging her and giving her my Dear John goodbye shit. I'll just read it to you. I go, I have no idea what your issue is with me. I did not direct anyone to say anything about you. Believe it or not, people like Purple Kool-Aid reach their own conclusion on you based on things you said on your stream independent of me. Contrary to popular belief, I am not a cult leader who directs people what to say. I say exactly how I feel about people myself. I wish the biggest problem I had in my life was people saying mean things about me on the internet. I was indicted for cyber harassment in New Jersey 2 days ago, and they are using that to try to put me in jail again because I exposed 𝗪𝗍𝗄𝗃 shitty behavior 9 months ago. I won't mention the psychological effect that the fear of incarceration has on me, or the countless nights I've lost sleep while thinking about being separated from my children again during their formative years of their lives, because I don't want you to mention it on your stream and have your fiance and others accuse me of emotionally manipulating you to lie for me. The last thing on my mind is what you or Jess or anyone is saying about me, or what Purple is saying about you. I have accrued over $1 million in legal fees, including $300,000 since I've been sued. I wake up every day with the stress and anxiety that you could never comprehend. I do things to take my mind off of the reality of my situation by joking around, which is why I went on his stream and made light of Jessica's comments about me being threatened by her presence on YouTube, because it's funny and making people laugh is what I do. You may not like Purple Kool-Aid, but he has been nothing but supportive and helpful to me. I treat people how they treat me. I have not spoken an ill word about you. If you want to use your platform to make what is largely our mutual supporters think I'm some sort of bad guy, so they will no longer support me, which seems to be how your message is received based on the chat, then I won't try to stop you. That's it. And I said, nor will I respond publicly. I have now, I guess, but I'm not going to lash out at her. I'm not going to shit on her, I'm not doing any of that shit. I go, if you'd like to have a conversation on the phone, let me know. If not, good luck with everything. But no, I'll probably just hear from him next time I'm in the chat. So that's it. That's it. Done. Goodbye. That's it. I have nothing more to say. Nothing more to say. And if people want to make there will be no back and forth with them. They're just done. Done. Goodbye. Goodbye. So yeah, I'm glad I got that off my chest, because that's, I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it. And I don't want to sit up here and pretend like everything's fine with her, because it's not. I'm not, like, she ain't with me and I ain't with her. We are not associated. She's not a supporter of mine, and neither is Machado. Like, they're not. And if you want to watch them, I don't care. Go ahead. It's a free country. Watch mine and hers. I don't care. Or just watch theirs. I don't care. So that's it. Done. I just wanted to get that off my chest, because a lot of people seem to be under the impression that, like, no, we're still pals. She's still a supporter of mine. It's not. And I did take offense to that. The whole comment about it wasn't talking about the recording gate that annoyed me. It was the lie about being pressured into it by mentioning my children. That pissed me off. and I kept it to myself, and I didn't say a word to her or lash out at her or do what you think I'm going to do. I didn't do any of that shit. I just kept it to myself. That's it. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next we have here, me and not you sends $10, goes impromptu fundraiser. If all 3,000 listeners give $227, we can raise $6,000 tonight. That's true. I challenge everyone to give something tonight. I graciously appreciate that. Me and not you. I appreciate that. Next, the other Mary B sends $5, goes, listen, Turtle, we ain't got no quit. Those of us who value our constitutional rights are more motivated than ever. This shitstorm will pass. We just have to keep trucking and always remember Mike farted. Yes, he did. Jennifer sends $50, goes, Doc, I attended your hearing Monday for the first time. I didn't introduce myself because I didn't want to disturb the mental prep. But now I wish I had, because I want to tell you how much I admire how you maintain your strength and humor in spite of all the BS. You have a great group around you because Turtle Boy is free turtle. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. I do have a great group of people around me. And, I really appreciate that, man. I really do. Next, Mistake Ellis sends $10, goes, the sad thing is these guys have let their hate for you take over the whole thing it has been about. Karen being framed and both of you being railroaded by corruption in their own state. They never care. I mean, at this point, Crawford and Nan and BLT, they're cartoon characters. Like nobody takes any of them seriously. They're jokes. So I appreciate that. Free speech and fighting corruption only matters when you don't hate Turtle Boy. That includes you too, Nan. She only supports people when they're giving her attention. Right. I mean, they're jokes. Next, Martina sends another $10, goes, Violet here again. So Voss is bashing you and Karen for using media to support your legal positions in an article in which the McAlberts are using media to push their legal positions. Great point. Great point. Mary sends $10, goes, hey, Aidan, after reading the Voss article, it made me realize how truly delusional AFKR idiots are. It's actually scary that they still can't see the truth after 2 trials. I wish you the best always. Thank you very much, Mary. Asser and Fish sends $20, goes, listen, Turtle, I'd love to ask Chris Maddie and the tuxedo guy, if Higgins was acting in his personal capacity and not as a public official when he used the FBI kiosk to extract his text messages with Karen Reed and John O'Keefe to present curated evidence to the state police. Can any one of us just waltz into a federal building and do the same? Only if it's your best friend. I'd also like to drive out to a military base as a normal citizen and ask if I can enter to throw away some old cell phones. Oh, wait, you already did. 𝗃𝗿𝗃. I know. Didn't work out that way. I hoped it would. Absolutely. Next is Gretchen Voss sends $10, goes, in Gretchen's article, she says the feds allowed Karen to be prosecuted. Lay off the shrooms, girl. The feds can't just stop a state prosecution, but they did everything they could to try and stop it. And the overgrown burrito doubled down. I'm fairly certain the foreskin girls were the source of that article because that pushed that Yannetti message on their channel for a while. Great investigative journalism. One thing I thought of today was how long until Crawford makes his debut on the foreskins. Don't you? That's got to be coming soon, right? That's got to be the next step. Crawford gets invited on the foreskins. Like they're going on with the welfare pajama lady there, Twisted Tragedies, her. They're going on with her, right? I mean, what's the difference? Like really, I mean, what's the going on with Krusty and not the foreskins? The foreskins are next. They have to be. Right? You got to go on. Like, there's no way. He doesn't like Adam Deitch. Like, he's going on. Like, that's one thing I thought of. But also, hold on one second. What is it? Oh, people are asking for the defense fund link in the chat, huh? Yeah, let me, do we have that? Let's see. But the chat goes so fast, I can only pin one thing. Why don't I pin that? Why don't I pin the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃? Since that's 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Turtle Boy. I'm going to go ahead and pin that in the chat instead. How about that? Boy, 65% say Chloe bit John before. So 35% think after. That's interesting. I'm going to end the poll now. I am going to unpin this. Unpin Turtleboy Legal Defense Fund. Pin message. Okay, that's pinned now. I like that. Okay. Next. Yeah, and what you said there about allowed to be prosecuted, as if they have the ability to stop it. No, you guys must stop. They did everything they could. They're like, bro, here are two experts who say that he wasn't hit by a car. Come on. Here is your lead investigator, the way he talked about the defendant. Here's what he said in text messages. Like, that was their way of saying, like, you can't go forward, dude. You can't do this. And they were like, nope, full steam ahead. They did not give a shit. They don't care. So they did their best. I mean, Gretchen Voss is just a dumb person. You'll hear, if any audio of our interview comes out, just how stupid she is. Maybe she'll put it out. We'll see. Mrs. Sarcasm sends $5 and goes, Attorney Maddie stated in court to the judge that his clients were never suspects, but Attorney Maddie said that, and so did Brian Higgins' attorney said that. I don't know if Greg Henning might have said that too. The Albert's attorney, Kevin Reddington might have said that about 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗵. I forget. That his clients were never suspects, but Voss said Colin and Brian both said that they were suspects at the grand jury. Yes. Can this be brought to the judge? I don't know, but it should be. Nancy says, what is the TO on the chief of police in Stoughton? Free Turtleboy. Don't know anything about it. Sorry. The Feds send $5 and goes, and these queef stains genuinely think the federal government conspired with Karen because of a high school club, but the Alberts being a second family to the Proctors is no connection at all, right? I mean, that's just... When I saw that, I'm like, Plevin did something on a woman named Ann Peruti a while back. It was like a Plevin and Krusty production. And I remember seeing it happen. I'm like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. It's like almost as embarrassing as when they said that Karen Reed's brother paid for my Lexus. Like, embarrassing that they're going down this rabbit hole. But then to have Gretchen Voss take that on. And I never read their theory on it until I saw it in Boston Magazine. And the connection is that Ann Peruti went to the same high school as Karen Reed, and they were in the Spanish club together. We don't know if they're in the same grade, but they were in a yearbook picture together. I was also in the Asian club in my high school yearbook. I've shown you guys that picture. I'm in the Asian club. Doesn't mean I'm best friends with every Asian person in there or I've ever spoken with them. Meanwhile, Katie McLaughlin is in hot tubs and shit with Caitlin Albert like a year ago, like not long ago at all. And you got a 30-year-old picture between a prosecutor, a federal prosecutor, that's who Ann Peruti is, who wasn't involved in the grand jury for Karen's case. Wasn't involved in it. Oh, and they're Pinterest friends, whatever that means. I don't even know what a Pinterest friend is. What does that even mean? I don't know how Pinterest works. But they're friends. They're best friends, I guess. And that's the reason the feds looked into this, because Karen owed a big favor. Or no, Karen was owed a big favor to some chick from Coyle Cassidy High School in 1997. She let her copy her homework or something. I don't know. And Karen owes her a big favor. So that they're like, hey, what do you need? Remember you let me copy your homework back in 97, Karen? Is there anything I could do for you? How about we launch a grand jury into the case where you killed the guy, so that way we make it look like somebody else did it, and then public opinion will turn, and then you'll be acquitted. Can I do that for you, dear? Can I do that for you? And oh yeah, her husband is on Adam Deitch's campaign team, which is really weird because Adam Deitch used to work with her. So that's odd that her husband would be a fan. Like, what the fuck? I can't even with these people. I mean, I can't. An adult wrote this article. It's just crazy. Roxanne sends $5 and goes, "Hi again, Mr. Turtle Taint. On Tuesday, you suggested I give my boyfriend a blowjob during the show. Just letting you know, I'm about to get on my knees. Turtle time is now blowy time." Good girl. Good girl. Wow. Wait, someone just donated $2,000 to my legal defense? You're kidding. Holy shit. An anonymous person just donated $2,000 to my legal defense fund and says, "We are going to get to your exoneration day. Love and prayers from Texas." First of all, anonymous, whoever you are, it says a lot that you don't even want thanks for that. I mean, that's how powerful that is, man. That means everything to me. I don't even know who you are to thank you, but thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. $5, $10, $5. I mean, I know not everyone can afford that. I mean, it's crazy, but somebody can, and they just did. And that means the world to me. That means our message is resonating here, that people get what's happening here. People get what they're doing to me. They're trying to do to all of us, you know, and God bless you. Some random person from Texas I've never met who just sees what's happening, sees an injustice, and wants to help out. So God bless whoever that is. God bless you. Thank you so much. That means everything to me. Thank you. And Roxanne, keep up the good work. Roxanne, good job. Thank you. Your boyfriend's going to love my show. AM sends $100. Thank you. And goes, "Hoss Long to die in the hole is still a hole at the tourney." Yes. And the tournament is a go. It's happening August 3rd. We got the shirts ordered. Gonna have some trophies, some contests. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. And we are going to be doing a giveaway for the 4th person on my foursome. It's going to be me, Auntie Deb, Trent's mom, and one other person. So we're going to be doing a giveaway for that. So stay tuned this week. And also, one guy who bought 2 tickets to it can't make it. He wants me to do a giveaway for his. So we're going to be doing that too. So we're going to have I can't wait for the golf tournament, man. Just feel free to sign up for that. I think it's still pinned to the top of my Twitter profile. We can take entries up until Wednesday. So all these people who thought, "Oh, no one's signing up for this. It's not happening." It's a go, mofo. And we got enough people to sign up that we have we got enough people signed up that we got a shotgun start. If we didn't get enough people, we can do a shotgun start. So shotgun means we got the whole course to ourselves. It's ours. And it's going to be great. Hold on. Yes, and I'm going to announce the sign shit for sponsorship. I promise. Tomorrow, I'm going to get back to everybody, explain. It's really easy. I'll explain how it works. Thank you. God, I can't believe someone gave me $2,000. That's crazy. Thank you. Andrea sends $5, goes, "A body in the snow." Brendan Kane said, "What made the most sense is that John spun out before he fell." Sir, human bodies do not spin out. I know. Wow. The Albert Family Rock sends $10, goes, "Here's a small drop in the bucket for your legal fund. Nothing in the Voss piece addresses my favorite quote of the trial. Well, it didn't hit him, so it doesn't matter, which means something else happened." She doesn't address any of that in our article. So real quick, I wanted to go over that. So we're not going to relitigate the whole thing. I think we went over it on Sex Cult Wednesday night when this article first came out, or maybe Bus Stop Live. I forget when. We definitely went over it. But I want to talk about here one aspect of it, okay? Because I'm starting to write an article just listing all the corrections. I've done like 3 so far. I'm like, lie number 1. Gretchen says that I shoved. I'm literally going through this and like, this is a draft. Okay. Yeah. Gretchen says I shoved my phone into Jen McCabe's face. She omits that Matt McCabe assaulted me, pointed out that I was smaller than him, and said, "Hey, tough guy, how you been?" She also left out how I asked her why she Googled 𝗺•line to die in cold at 2:27 a.m. So I don't know if that's a lie as much as it is an intentional omission, which is dishonest. Lie number 2, Gretchen says I was escorted out by school officials. The video clearly shows that I left on my own accord. Lie number 3 is what I want to get to now. It says Turtleboy Kearney was the first to report this alternative theory. That is untrue, ladies and gentlemen. For instance, this is an April 12th, 2023 article on the Globe that I showed. Every major media outlet reported on Alan Jackson's affidavit April 12th about the 𝗺•line to die in cold search. It didn't get much traction. The media put it out. They didn't do a good job really explaining the importance of it. And for that reason, it didn't really catch on until I wrote about it on April 18th. But that was not the first time that the media talked about the conspiracy. Okay? This is Oxygen True Crime. It says professor indicted in murder of Boston cop boyfriend after allegedly running him over in snowstorm. Every part of their case is falling apart, Karen Reed's attorney David Yannetti said, accusing prosecutors and state police of a sprawling cover-up in the death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. What was the date on that one? Let's see. June 15th, 2022. That's before Alan Jackson's hired. Almost a year before I write about this. But yet Gretchen Voss states as a fact in her article that Kearney was the first to report on this alternative theory. Turns out I wasn't. And then there's the Boston Globe article. We need to read the Boston Globe article right now from October 3rd, 2022. This was eye-opening when I read this. I want to read this article to you. So Alan Jackson gets hired by Karen, I believe in, I don't shove my phone. I did not shove my phone in her face. I was a good distance away. I'm like just holding the phone. So that's also a lie. Like that, you can't just make shit up. You can't just take your own, like, be whatever with it. You're liberal. I don't know what the right word for it is. Like liberties, your own liberties. You have to say what factually happened. That's not what happened. So this is October 3rd, 2022, maybe a month or two after Alan Jackson gets hired, and he comes out firing, but not firing hard enough because he didn't get my attention. Did he? He didn't get much attention at all. They didn't have Jennifer McCabe's phone yet, but boy, did they have a lot. I want to read this. Here's Karen Reed at her arraignment in June. Poor Karen. Lawyers for Karen Reed, the woman charged with murder for allegedly driving over her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, sought to poke holes in the prosecution case at a pretrial hearing Monday. I don't think I've ever seen a more obvious and a more troubling set of circumstances that suggest a conflict of interest or a series of conflicts of interests, Reed's lawyer Alan Jackson said in Norfolk Superior Court. Jackson said the lead state police investigator has close personal ties to a number of people who were at the party where the fatal incident happened. The Boston Globe knows his name. They don't even say it. But Assistant DA Adam Lally said prosecutors have vetted any possible conflict of interest between the trooper and those at the party and that any relationship is ancillary, tangential at best. This is October. They're already spouting conspiracy theories. And what does Adam Lally says? That they've vetted it. That is a lie. How do we know they vetted it? They hadn't vetted it yet because we saw them vetting it. We just saw them vetting it with their interview of Courtney Proctor, Julie Albert, and Chris Albert. That's what vetting looks like. Interrogations, like in with police, asking them, grilling them about shit. They didn't grill them hard, but they asked them questions at least. What was Adam Lally's vetting process between the trooper and those at the party? And how is it tangential as best if his mother calls them a second family and his sister says that Colin is my little guy? He's just my little guy. Whatever he says. My little guy. Is that his word? Was it my little guy? I forgot what it was. You guys probably know better than I do, but it's something to that effect. The article goes on. Let's see. Yeah, March 18th. Thank you, Emily. O'Keefe died after an outing with Reed and friends at a Canton bar on the night of January 28th that ended at a party at the home of Brian Albert, also a Boston police officer, and his wife, Nicole. Reed and O'Keefe arrived in her black Lexus. Prosecutors allege that after he got out of the passenger side, he was hit by the right rear side of the vehicle as Reed was making a three-point turn. Reed, who authorities say was legally drunk at the time, then allegedly drove off. Listen to the prosecutors allege. Remember, prosecutors allege that what happened? A three-point turn. Prosecutors allege that John was killed. A little buddy. That's what it was. It was a little buddy. Prosecutors allege that John O'Keefe was hit during a three-point turn. Prosecutors do. About 6 hours later, and of course, that falls apart because if Karen Reed did a three-point turn, she would have gone the other direction. And the problem with that is you can't go very... We've shown what happens with the three-point turn thing. It doesn't work out because it would have been, if she had backed into him that way, it would have been the left tail light that hit him. We did a guy made a video about it. It was great. Okay. About 6 hours later, O'Keefe was found by Reed under 6 inches of snow. The state medical examiner's office concluded O'Keefe died from hypothermia. I don't think they did. I don't think they ever concluded that definitively. Because as it turns out, he didn't die from hypothermia. He didn't. And multiple head injuries, according to prosecutors. Prosecutors also alleged that O'Keefe wanted to end their relationship that the couple argued frequently, and that Reed had previously left a voicemail on look at this. Look at this reporting. Previously left a voicemail screaming about how she hated him. When did she previously leave that voicemail? If you were to read this in October of 2022 and you were like, well, she left a voicemail saying she hates him, it would be very different if she left that voicemail a couple days before John died, right? That would make a huge difference. If she's like, I fucking hate you, John. Fuck you. 2 days before he dies. But no, that voicemail was left supposedly after she killed him, which makes it less believable. It's little details like that, those are the lies. That she had previously left a voicemail screaming. When did she leave the voicemail? When exactly did she leave the voicemail? Because if she left it after she supposedly killed him. Oh, that's going to make people think that she might be innocent, right? And this is another thing. 6 inches of snow. There was no 6 inches of snow. And again, why didn't Turtleboy get involved in this? Because I'm listening to these facts. I'm like, well, I guess that's fucking crazy. He was buried under 6 inches of snow. Well, then no one's going to see him, right? But you tell me there's an inch of snow, then I'm like, why didn't anyone see him? It's little details like that which kept people like me from looking into this case. All these lies. In court Monday, Jackson said that according to authorities, the first time anyone learned O'Keefe was dead was at 6:04, when Reed, her friend Jen McCabe, and another woman returned to the residence. But Jackson said another witness said in a police interview that she learned of O'Keefe's death just before 5 a.m. when O'Keefe called her. You guys know who that is? That's Julie Albert. In one of the police reports, Julie Albert says that she found out about it at what, 4:55 a.m., some shit like that. We still don't have an answer for that. That means somebody's not telling the truth. Lally, however, said the witness testified that she had missed Jen McCabe's call because she was asleep. Was that Nicole Albert? What? Okay. Lally, however, said the witness the intentions of the phone call may have been to inform her of something, but it's not a phone call she received. Okay. This is before they have John O'Keefe's phone extraction, by the way. Jackson said the defense doesn't dispute the call initially went to voicemail, but suggested the witness could have listened to the voicemail minutes later. See, none of this ever comes up. So Jackson also said Matt McCabe, Brian Albert's brother-in-law, told investigators he looked out the kitchen window during the party and saw V-shaped tire tracks, suggesting a vehicle had made a 3-point turn. Yet he didn't see O'Keefe's body lying nearby. How could he see the tire tracks that led to O'Keefe being killed right there in the yard and not see Mr. O'Keefe? Exactly. Lally disputed Jackson's characterization of the testimony. The only person who has ever said that there was a 3-point turn in the house, in front of the house by Miss Reed, was Miss Reed. Pardon? Pardon? The only person who has ever said that there was a 3-point turn was Karen Reed. How about up here, sir? Where you say prosecutors allege that Reed was making a 3-point turn. Prosecutors allege that she was making a 3-point turn, and then he's up here saying the only person who's ever alleged that Karen Reed did a 3-point turn was Karen Reed. I don't know where they're getting this stuff from. I don't know where they're getting it from. You, motherfucker. You're the one saying it. Jackson said the lead investigator indicated authorities had seized Reed's vehicle at 5:30 on January 29th, when video evidence shows the car was seized at 4:12. Again, they had this. That's a huge part of the puzzle, the 4:12 thing. He also raised questions about taillight shards that police found at the scene. So let me get this straight. Gretchen Voss says in her stupid article that Turtleboy was the first one to report on this alternative theory, and yet the Boston Globe is reporting 6 months before I knew any of this shit happened that Karen Reed's car was towed an hour and 18 minutes before police said that it was towed, and that taillight was planted. Oh, and then this is my favorite. Lally suggested the timestamp on the video might have been incorrect due to daylight savings. I never found this. I'm like, I never found. The daylight savings thing was never in any court filings, and I never found it. And then I read this article. I'm like, this is where they got it from. This is October of 2022. 𝗟𝗟 does the daylight savings lie. They abandoned that one later on. They realized even with the ring, bro, like they got ring camera video showing it being towed at 412. And even they're like, no, that's wrong. Daylight savings. First of all, the daylight savings thing didn't make any sense because you fall back, and that would have been 3:12 p.m., not 5:12 p.m. So that didn't make any sense. That never made any sense. Also, these things automatically reset. So like, that's just stupid. Also, the sun hadn't set yet on that day. The sun set at 4:56 p.m. So that made no sense at all, but they still stuck with the lie until, you know what made them change their lie? Nicholas Barros. Nicholas Barros' report shows the car was towed at 4:15. And then they couldn't lie anymore. And so they're like, Scrivener's error. Yeah, sure, we've been stuck to this lie for quite some time. Am I not saying it? Have I not been saying the F word? I'm trying not to. Are you being sarcastic? I haven't said the F word much, right? Yeah. I'm trying not to say the F word. If I am, okay. But I feel like I've said it a couple times, but not that much, right? But this is where the juicy part of it. Jackson also maintained that instead of being hit by a car, O'Keefe was beaten severely, sustaining a wound to the back of the head that caused a skull fracture and a cut to his right eye. The right part of his nose was cut, consistent with punches being thrown, consistent with a fist fight, Jackson said. And he had wounds on his arm, consistent with dog fights. The Alberts owned a German Shepherd at the time. But yet Gretchen Voss in her article says Kearney was the first to report this alternative theory. It says it right there. That is the alternative theory. The alternative theory is that John was beaten up inside the Alberts' house. It says it right there in the Globe. Insane. So that is another lie that I'm going to be emailing Chris Vogel about tomorrow that he needs to correct. Because that's a lie, mofo. You can't just be lying. Then I read the comments because there's 94 comments on this. I'm like, what were people saying back then? Bro, wait till you read these comments. And by the way, one thing I noted, one of these commenters, I would bet anything is Karen Reed because I know what Karen Reed sounds like. And one of these commenters is definitely Karen Reed. I'll tell you, the others are not. But one of them, I am 100% positive is her. And I don't know this is a fact, but I know Karen reads the Globe. Like Karen reads the Globe. And she knew she was innocent. She knew she was being framed. And she wants other people to know this. And so she can't keep her mouth shut. So she's in the Globe comments. I definitely found her. Like, I know which one's her. You're going to see. I'm positive you'll see it. Okay. Okay. Jackson is showing the Swedes a reasonable doubt. Okay. Looks more and more like 𝗟𝗟 should avoid proceeding with this thin prosecution. This is what they were saying before the Google search came out. Before butt dials came out. Okay. I guess they expect her to plea bargain by overcharging. Doesn't seem like they have any chance to prove second-degree murder so far. If they keep pushing this, they'll be lucky to get her on a civil traffic ticket. That's before they had Lucky Loughran and butt dials and 227 and phones going up and down 3 flights of stairs. That's before they had all that. And people are still like, yeah, they got nothing. How about this? Originally, O'Keefe's body was reported as being in a snowbank outside of a house of people he knew. Now it's another BPD officer's house where his body was found. Why did they ignore this fact? People in the comments are like, wait a minute. First, you guys said he was outside in the snow. Some people were paying attention to this shit. And they were like, this ain't right. People were onto the shit before I was, but just didn't get any traction. What else? A lot of inconsistencies, huh? Yep. Huh. How about this? Since there were no witnesses, all evidence is circumstantial. Because the deceased was a cop, there are some questions about the seriousness of the charges, since the Norfolk DA is running for re-election. That was an election year. It is curious that all reported injuries were above the neck. People were picking up on this shit. Anything Reed allegedly said. This is who I think Karen Reed is. I think Karen Reed is the Natty account. I'm telling you right now. Tell me this doesn't sound exactly like her. Natalie, as in Natalie. Natty, I think this is Karen. Or it could be Natalie speaking for Karen. I don't know. But I think this is Karen Reed. Tell me this doesn't sound exactly like Karen Reed. Anything Reed allegedly said is according to the Mass State Police, whom the defense is claiming was in the wedding of the Boston Police Department BPD homeowner. None of that was out yet. We cannot take that as a fact. If this investigation is corrupt, covered only by neighboring MSP in Canton, then anything goes. How do you get hit by a 6,000-pound truck and not suffer a single injury below your neck? But the victim's head looks like it was used as a punching bag. Bro, that's Karen Reed. I would bet any amount of money that's Karen Reed in the comment section. No? Anybody want to take that bet? Does that not sound exactly like her? I'm just saying she's right. But this is what Karen Reed was relegated to doing. If this is actually her, this is what she was relegated to doing before Turtleboy. Because she's like, can we talk about this? She had to go on Boston Globe chat rooms using fake identities to like, bro, can we talk about the fact there's no injuries and shit? We agree that that's her. Natty. When I saw the name Natty, and you believe Natty leaves more than one comment. And I'm like, that's just too much of a coincidence that it sounds exactly like Karen Reed. And it's like Natty. Didn't Natalie go by that on some of her? I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe it's not her. She had to leak. She had to get the information out. Right. She's just trying to get the information out here. Imagine being framed for murder. You'll do anything to get the information out there. No one's talking about this. You know how bad I want to scream about what happened when I went to jail, about what happened. I wanted to get that shit out of there. But as a defendant, you're not allowed to. You have to keep your mouth shut. But Karen Reed doesn't like keeping her mouth shut. Karen Reed wants to get her shit out there. You're telling me Karen Reed's not above going in the chat room of the Boston Globe, the only place that people are talking about this. And then imagine Turtleboy comes along. And what a breath of fresh air that was for her. So all these motherfuckers, she hates Turtleboy. I'm the best thing that ever fucking happened to her. Besides Alan Jackson. Who she paid for? She didn't pay me. I did this shit for free. I was just telling the truth. It's my job. Anyway. It'll be interesting how she play. Let's see. And then Natty again goes, because somebody's like, a 40-year-old woman drinking like that. And Natty says, she's an equity research professional and college professor. How does going out and having drinks make one an alcoholic? I find her to be beautiful and poised. Actually, I think this might be Natalie now. I think this might be actually Natalie. Maybe it's Natalie. I don't know. Because Karen Reed's not the type to be like, I'm so beautiful and poised. That sounds like Natalie. Now that I read that comment, that sounds like Natalie. This could be a combination of like, I think this is Natalie's account that sometimes Natalie comments on and sometimes Karen Reed tells her what to say. I think that's what this account is. I think this is Natalie's account. It's called Nat Natty, so that would make sense if it was Natalie's account, right? So I think it's Natalie's account because I think Natalie wrote this one about being beautiful and poised. That is such a Natalie thing to say. That is such a Natalie thing to say. But like Natalie doesn't know the facts of the case. Like Karen, like, you know what I mean? I cracked the case. This is Natalie's account that sometimes Karen Reed tells her what to say. Read that one. Huh. Somebody goes, and the dog was relocated shortly after that night. So that's not the Nat Natty account. So that ain't her. But you see a lot of the comments, people are like, oh, is she drunk? But whatever. People are talking about it. How about this comment? I originally read somewhere that there was a cocktail glass found at the scene, but since then I've seen no mention of it. Yeah, I wonder why. If the officer was drunk and unsteady on his feet, he might have fallen. And if other partygoers, likely none too sober themselves, left later in their cars, one of them may have hit and or run over the officer. Man, people are saying crazy shit. But here's my comment. I am surprised that someone in the neighborhood didn't have some sort of video cam evidence. Interesting. That's a good point. There's a couple others that I found interesting. How about this comment? I'm just so confused with him having only significant head injuries, but nothing else. I just am imagining someone standing behind a car. The car backs up slowly. This comment is so spot on. Your lower body, feet, legs, chest will definitely touch the car. If she backed up really fast, he would have went flying and his whole body would have been messed up. I just can't wrap my head around. Court records show O'Keefe had cuts to his arms and head, was bleeding from the mouth and nose. Severe head trauma, but only cuts on arms. Am I the only one who thinks someone got in a fight with him? Bro, people were onto this shit. People were onto this shit. It sounds up, and then here's Nat Natty again. It sounds like a fight that went too far. Yeah. If the guy who died was not a cop, this would not be a case at all. Okay, hold on. Let's see. How about 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃? It says no internal bleeding from the lower body, multiple head injuries, broken nose. This is more consistent with the fight than being hit by a car. Yep. And then there's this. This is what really made me think it was Karen. Nat Natty said, because Karen used to always be like, why is Reed fighting so hard for the cell phone tracking for that night? If she is guilty, it would only implicate her. And if the prosecution is right, why haven't they sought this tracking already? That's a Karen Reed comment. I'm telling you right now, that's Karen Reed. telling Natalie what to type, but that's Karen Reed. I'm telling you right now. I know how she talks. I know how Natalie talks, and I know how Karen talks. Natalie says stupid shit. Like, Karen's so pretty and beautiful. Karen would never say anything. Karen Reed would never say anything like that. Ever. Ever. But she would say something like this. She loved when we would speak to just pose hypotheticals like that. That made me think. Like, she would say, like, if I was guilty, why would I get the FBI involved? And I'm like, it's a great point. I don't have an answer to that. You know what I mean? I'm like, but I'm telling you, right? Isn't that crazy just to go back in time and look at this? That this is what Karen Reed was relegated to? Was going in the comment section of the Boston Globe on the Nat Natty account and making these comments. That's fucking her. I'm telling you right now. That's her. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. I found that last night, and I'm like, I think I'm going to talk about it on my show tomorrow night. It'll be good content for my show. Okay, let me read some turtle chats here. It's almost 1 a.m., so we got to finish this puppy up. Read what I got here. And my cash apps. I got to get to those. Okay. All right. Rosaline sends $10, goes, First Amendment, Daddy. It's become very expensive to be Turtleboy. It has been. The New Jersey indictment is absolutely insane. Does this mean Paul O'Keefe will need to be called as a witness? Hang in there. We got you. Hoping all this BS is over and you're truly free. That's the thing about this. And I seriously hope that Robert Cosgrove and others consider is that if you actually give a shit about the O'Keefe family, you do not want this. You want to end this. You want to make this go away because you do not want. Right now, this has been relegated to Twitter and online postings. The last thing anyone who cares about the O'Keefe family should want is for Paul O'Keefe's messages with this person to be put into evidence. And the bathroom selfie of Paul O'Keefe, right now it's just on Twitter and shit. Then it's on the freaking Boston Globe, right? If this goes in a courtroom, everything's changed. Everything changes when shit goes in a courtroom. So they actually want to protect Paul. This is very bad for Paul O'Keefe. So if they actually want this, like anybody who cares about, we know that this woman doesn't care about Paul O'Keefe. We saw what she did to him. She's not looking out for his interests. So there's that. Next. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm also looking forward to the day when like all of my money doesn't go to lawyers, like all of it. Like, it's just crazy, the bills I got right now, man. Crazy. People like, he made so much money off this. Yeah, but it's all gone. It's gone, bro. Thank you. Holly sends $10, goes, the Voss article is so good for you. It makes me question if the McAlberts are hoping for a dismissal. They had to sue to save face and a follow-through with playing victim. There is no way they want more bad acts televised to the world, but they can't withdraw or it's a win for you. I mean, it's an interesting conspiracy theory. If it's dismissed, they could continue to blame the justice system and play poor little old us. Keep fighting. This will be your greatest victory yet. P.S. Maybe one of the Turtle Riders could look into the Florida man's injuries to compare with John O'Keefe's. I just want to see his head injury. That's what I want to see. Hold on. Okay. Gigi sends $100, goes, fucking old Kate at this point has fucked with Texas. I am all in for you. Appreciate that, Gigi. Petitions are made for you. I assure you that every signature will make a difference. You will be free. These corrupt a-holes will be the ones in jail. I hope so, Gigi. We'll see. Thank you. God bless you, man. James sends $25, goes, Morrissey called ADNJ to press charges. File a civil claim with both DA, NJ, and DA info. Okay. I don't know about that. Papa Sean McDonough sends $5 and goes, 10 minutes, please. Turtle rant incoming. What? I don't know what that is, but thank you. A-Rod sends $10 and goes, Crawford is so stupid. He thinks because of the motion of 𝗬𝗄𝗍 was denied, that means she did witness intimidation. That motion was about defamation, not witness intimidation. He's like not a smart person, like at all. He's a joke. You know, he's an absolute joke. And so is BLT. It's an even bigger joke. And dude, I'm coming to 𝗬𝗄𝗍𝗧𝘂𝗍. I want to play this one clip here. I responded to it today. I'm like, 𝗬𝗄𝗍𝗧𝘂𝗍's like the nicest person. She's very harmless and very smart. I'm very glad I've met her and that she's come into my world and the Karen Reed world and made a name for herself. And her foyer around. I mean, there's some people that I've met in this thing. I'm so happy I met. They're so good at what they do and so valuable to this movement. This movement has been what it's been because of all the people like who have researched, who have found shit out, who have participated in the standouts and protests and done their thing. And I look back on that fundraiser that Karen had in November of 2024, and I get now why the boots on the ground people were so upset about it. Because they're out there doing all this shit, and then they got to see BLT. They are in Crawford, and they're just, and then BLT and Crawford made some sort of statement about like, stop crying, bitches. Like, we're important. We're content creators. And I'm like, dude, you guys had nothing. Like, for the people that are actually out there doing shit, to see these empty suits do nothing. Like, it's maddening. So anyway, BLT responded here. Yeah, right there. I go, he's so angry. He's like, all right, so like this is, just listen to this. I'll play this one. Listen to this crying.
𝗫𝗍𝗃 has appeared on YouTube programs of 𝗬𝗄𝗍𝗃𝗍, a free Karen Reed podcaster that fucking came in way after the
Listen
fact.
to that. Listen
Another
to
one.
Look at his voice. Look at his,
yeah.
Like he's like the nice guy. He's like, he acts like he cosplays as this like nice guy, but he's so jealous of other content creators. And you just hear the anger in his voice. He's so angry. Look at this. Listen to the effing part.
See a free Karen Reed podcaster that fucking came.
Look at his anger. Look at he's laughing.
See a free Karen Reed podcast.
So he's like laughing. It's funny, and then he just can't hide his contempt. Watch this.
Caster that fucking came in way after the fact.
Like there's the anger. Came in way after the fact. What does that mean? Came in way after the fact. You mean started a YouTube channel way after the fact? I don't know how long Emily was following this trial, but she lives in Norfolk County. She's a voter there. She's invested in it. She might not have started a YouTube channel until after that, but the anger that didn't come along until recently. What does after the fact mean? After what fact? Because he came in after me, right? Is that how it works? If you came in after BLT, you don't count. And since coming in after the fact, she has accomplished and gotten more done for this movement than he ever has. And it's not even close. Not even close. This douchebag put a billboard up about Enrique Delgado Garcia and made you know he did it. You know what I mean? He got a studio. He did all that. He never did anything, though. When this guy does FOIAs, he drips it out to you. Emily just gives it to you. Everything. Here it all is. You know? Yeah, everybody came after me. Exactly. Including him. But like, he came after the fact. Is he not allowed to? Are we not accepting people after the fact? But she didn't come after the fact. She just started a YouTube after the fact. People like her, there's so many people like her who behind the scenes were doing shit. My sources, the people that gave me information that helped me write these stories, they all have done more than him. And Crawford. Crawford and him have done nothing. When you look back at the totality of this all, what have they done? What have they done besides enrich themselves? Have they found any interesting information out that's been useful to the defense? Nope. Nope. They just go on YouTube and they collect money and they talk about the things that everyone else is talking about. That's it. And they wear pocket squares. When this is all now, it's crazy when you can look back. 𝗵𝗍, I see 𝗵𝗍 in the comment right now saying there's a ton of very smart females. Notice he's not, you notice who 𝗵𝗍 isn't hyping up himself, but he should. Because the work 𝗵𝗍's done, 𝗵𝗍 was so valuable that the defense hired him for the trial. They hired him. He was that good at documenting all of this and using his skills to show. I mean, it was so good. Those are the people who have done something for this movement. Mazza Media out there who they've been crapping on. All he does is share positivity and get people fired up. And he understands the facts of the case. Every time I hear that man talk, he gets it. And then this guy, I just look back at this. Listen to the anger. And there's literally siding with Gretchen Voss and shitting on Adam 𝗫𝗍 and David Yannetti. Oh my God.
Another one.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah. Pay for the FOIAs. Pay for the FOIAs that are being released. Donate to my fucking FOIA and fucking find out program.
He's so mad.
Another grifter.
Look at it. Look how mad he is. Look at the anger there. Don't fall. I fell for the nice guy routine with this guy. I thought he was a nice guy. No, he's angry. Look how angry he is. Look at that face. That is an angry man right there. Does not like women either. Look at it. He's angry towards women. I'm shocking. This guy can't find. He is the most empty suit ever. His whole act was all fake. The nice guy act was fake. Everything about this guy was fake. And he's the kind of guy that thinks he's a nice guy and thinks he should get women because he's a nice guy and that people should be kissing his ass because he's a nice guy. He's a big shot, but nobody said hi to him at the dinner. People were not giving him his pret, and Nurse Kim went live at the same time as him, and he's real sensitive to that, and he blocked her because of that. Remember that? I ain't going to do that, but what the hell? So he's like, yeah, listen to how angry he is, though. Look at him.
Public information that's being released. I'm going to post it up on a website, but hey, Venmo me. Support my fucking project. They're releasing it. We get fucking monthly, bi-weekly emails of the discovery that's being released.
This guy is the reason. No, although 𝗵𝗏𝗍, I have no inside information. He certainly didn't tell me this. But according to the timeline, this guy is the reason 𝗵𝗏𝗍 stopped going on shows where people took super chats. Because this guy made a mockery of it. This guy sold access to Mark 𝗵𝗏𝗍. This is the guy that said, hey, if you give enough money, we'll let you ask 𝗵𝗏𝗍 a question. He sold Mark 𝗵𝗏𝗍. Imagine how dirty that made 𝗵𝗏𝗍 feel. I don't speak for 𝗵𝗏𝗍, right? But we all saw he said that right after going on there. So you do the math. I mean, this guy, to have the nerve to call her a grifter and be like, hey, people can give to my money. Yeah, you know who says that? Somebody who doesn't do FOIAs. Because anyone who does FOIAs with these government agencies knows that they love to be like, yeah, so that's going to be a lot of paperwork. We're going to need like $500, something like that. They love doing that shit just because they don't want you to do it. They don't want to do the work. So they always try to charge you. So the FOIA and Find Out Fund is a great thing that everyone should, if you like to find shit out, should not make a bank off of that. They're spending all that money on shit. She's as legit as you get. And for this guy to get up there, just look at the anger because he's like, I should be the star. Why do people like her They should like me. I'm the real one. I put up a billboard for Enrique Delgado Garcia. I'm a nice guy. Look at my hair. I'm nice guy. Look at him. He's so angry.
And she's putting it up on a website and saying fucking cash app me. Good stuff.
He's so mad. He's so angry. That's all I go. I just go, he's so angry. That was my take on that. He is angry, dude. You would too if you were a chia pet. Anyway, back to this whatever. Grifters. Melissa sends $25, goes, thanks for being the voice that refuses to be silenced by legal intimidation. Turtleboy is right and elect Adam Deitch. Thank you, Melissa. I agree. Rosaline sends $10, goes, Aidan, saying a prayer for Mama Turtleboy today. Thank you. I know it's difficult to say the final goodbye. I lost my mom 3 years ago, and I still think of her every day. I know she's smiling down on you. Sorry about your loss, Rosaline, and proud of your strength and perseverance. Sorry for your loss. We love you and appreciate you. Free Turtleboy. Well, thank you. Tara sends $25 and goes, may the memories of your mom bring you comfort and peace. Even though she is not here on earth, she's always with you and will always be your biggest supporter. My mom was that for me, as I don't have a close relation. My mom's mom was that for me, as I don't have a close relation with my mom. I miss my mom every day, but find myself talking to her often. Keep on fighting for your justice. It's like I wish I could. I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, well, she's here in spirit, and she's not. I mean, maybe she is. I don't hear her voice. So it's like when you really need advice, I'm like, I don't hear it. I know she'd have the right thing to say, and I don't hear it. So some people get comfort in that. I don't, but I'm glad you do, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Colleen sends $13, goes, an average of 6,000 of us gather here twice a week to digitally assemble one of the 5 core activities guaranteed to us under the First Amendment. So essentially American, isn't it? So essentially American, isn't it? And by the way, did you know that Radio City Music Hall holds 6,000 people? So basically you sell out that hall twice a week, all year long. Way to go, Crusader. Well, that's a good way of looking at it. Good way of looking at it, Thank you. Next, Maritza sends $20, goes, sending you positive vibes from Chicago. Love you, Ritzy. Don't read the next part about loud. Okay. Thank you, Maritza. Stupid April sends $20 and goes, hey, Turtle Dove. Sorry about your mom. As a person who lost their father, I can say the second year was much harder than the first. It's true. Remember that she's not gone because you were a part of her. Your fighting spirit and dedication to justice and what you believe in is what keeps her eternally alive. Well, that's very deep, Stupid April, and I appreciate that very much. And thank you so much. That means a lot. The second year is harder, like 100%, because that's when you're like, yeah, there's so many the little shit you miss. They're like, you really need your parents. It sucks. 1,500. Is that true? Somebody donated 1,500 more. The Legal Defense Fund? No. Yes. Yes. 2 minutes ago, anonymous giver sends $1,500 anonymous. Says, we ain't got no quit. Thank you so much. This all helps. And again, I'm not like blowing this on stupid shit. I'm like, yesterday I literally had to go to the bank and wire my lawyers in New Jersey 60 grand because I got 3. And so it's like, because, they have to work too. This is a lot of work for them. These are legit fucking attorneys that have to like keep me out of jail, But I guess it's like I'm overreacting to shit. I'm using my kids for emotional manipulation. God, we don't want to do that. I mean, what do you think is going to make, what's a more legitimate reason to cry, or be upset? Being separated from your children or an article written about you 6 years ago? I mean, you tell me, what's a more legitimate reason to cry? Because I've never cried about that on my show. I don't cry. I don't use that. I don't cry about that on my show. I'll do that privately if I need to. I don't go on here and use that to win arguments and cry, right? But some people do cry about 6-year-old blogs. Oh, I'm fucking sad. That article made me want to kill myself 6 years ago. No, it didn't. Shut up. Go eat another fucking bagel and fucking yell into a fucking phone. Nobody's buying that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Next. Farty Marty sends $25, goes, I want a Grant Smith Ellis redemption arch for Sean McDonough. We'd still give him up if asked, though. I don't think you're ever going to get that from him. Grant doesn't have an ego. That's the thing about Grant, is Grant is not an egomaniac. So that's why the redemption arc was possible for Grant. But McDonough is an egomaniac. He has to be the guy. He's an actual egomaniac. So I don't think it's possible. There's that. Next. The Lawyer You Blow sends $10, goes, listen, Turtle, a heads up to everyone on the fence about the golf tournament. Tournaments are just a big party with dinner. Exactly. That is the best way to describe a golf tournament. It's like, it's not actually competitive. You ain't going to win, but it's just a big party with food at the end. That's all it is. You don't have to be good at golf. No one takes it seriously. You don't even have to really play. Just ride in the cart and drink for 18 holes. Borrow a putter, a driver, and a 7-iron from a friend. Sign up and have fun hacking around. That is exactly it. It's best ball, too. You guys know how best ball works? All 4 players shoot in your foursome. Whoever has the best shot, everyone shoots the next one from there. You don't have to keep shooting your shitty balls. You shoot from the best ball. And it moves. It just moves. And you got carts. So you don't got to walk the whole way either. It's fucking easy. You don't even take the bag out. It sits in the back. You just pick this one out. Fucking hit this one. Oh, that one went in the woods. Okay, we're not shooting my ball. See you later. Next one. Let's go. Have a couple drinks. You have a great time. It's fun. Sign up for the golf tournament. Next. The Albert family rock again. Sends $5 and goes, do we know whether John could have recovered if someone called 911 right away? Did the head injury mean he would have just been in a coma if they rushed him in the hospital? I think he would have been. Yeah, no, I think he would have been. I think Brian Albert has seen enough dead bodies to know right away that this guy ain't going to make it. At best, he'll be, paralyzed. And what kind of life is that? I think that's what Brian Albert thought. Catastrophe sends $100. Thanks, Catastrophe, and goes, our institutions have failed us. You have not. Let's pile on the Mass Court of Appeals and make some fun case law. Exactly, Catastrophe. Thank you so much. And I had to have the talk with Pyle about it. I'm like, he's a great guy, a very good lawyer, but he works for a big firm. And when you work for these big firms, you don't have the ability to just, when you're not a partner in it too, like I don't think he's a partner. Like you can't just be like, Bob Alessi had to get permission from his firm to do this pro bono because he works, you know what I mean? Like that's billable hours for the law firm. He wasn't going to do a third trial. He says that. You hear him on the hot mic. He goes, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do this again. I'm out. We need to get this done now. I can't. I'm out. We got to do it. Imagine that pressure for Karen, And so, like, he doesn't have the ability to just be like, just give me $100,000 retainer, and then we'll just leave it at that. He can't. He has to bill hourly. That the firm makes him do that. So he tries to make it as cost efficient as I can. He's got like other attorneys that bill less at the firm, that if there's like, legwork for them, he tries to the appeal's not going to cost as much as the other because most of the legwork's done, but he's very honest with me about price. And so I had to have the conversation with him about it. I'm like, bro, at the rate we're going right now, I'm like, I can't afford, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to afford you. And I'm just like, he's like, don't worry. It's like this is heavy loaded. Like a lot of this shit, like we're very invested in this. He's like, the plan was to appeal. He told me going into it, he goes, very good chance we lose. But I feel the argument is strong. He's already done. He's like researched it. He's like, I feel this is ripe for appeal. And I like our chances with the SJC with this. Like, he knows what he's doing. So he doesn't guarantee me anything, but you know, and I'm like, I'm always going to have people that are going to want to give. They're going to want to help, but the money's going fast. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and so I get it. Like, it's his job. He doesn't have the ability to just be like, just give me 50 grand. We'll leave it at that. He can't do it, you know? So, you know, but I'm in really good hands with him. Let me tell you, really good hands. And I'm really good hands with Better and Bradle too. So, all right, cool. Next. Jim Karate sends $10, goes, Albert family, modern day Whitey S. Boston. I don't get how they have so much power. Yeah, you and I both. Always wondered that. Just South of History says Crawford and BLT could never repair a fridge door. No, they couldn't. I swear, those are the only two content creators that haven't gotten any action as a result of being content creators in this whole thing. I genuinely believe that. Like, the baker's getting sexed in Denmark. You know what I mean? He's overseas. He's getting a little bit of action. I mean, it's online, but it's something. Like, I think though, like, I mean, Crawford, in fairness, his 75-year-old girlfriend ain't putting up with that shit. But the others, I don't know. Like, you know, BLT is just like, oh man, he makes things real awkward on dates. Just real awkward. All right, next. Nah. But you're right. They don't know how to fix a fridge. Just out this. They don't. Okay. Let me read some cash apps here. We are an attractive bunch. You're right about that. Megan sends $25 and goes, for the TDS mental health cause. Thank you. Slay Ann sends 100 and goes, you're a tough MFer. Thanks for sharing about your mom. Well, it's not easy. You know what I mean? I'm not like, it's just that's part of my brand too, is also like talking about myself, right? Being real, like, and human, I guess. I don't know. Jill sends $10, goes, Turtle is right. Not always, but majority right. Well, thank you. And on days like today too, I'll tell you one thing. It's like, I'm very thankful for my family. I'm very lucky to have, like, if you've met my family, you've met like people like, where's his family? Why don't they come to court dates? You think that's what family is? You think that's what constitutes like love? Coming to my court dates? I don't want them in my court dates. I don't want to open them up to what comes with being part of the Turtleboy circus. You know what I mean? Like, no, thank you. We don't talk about Turtleboy at all. Very rarely. So like, this idea that that's what love and family is about, that ain't what it's about. You know, it's about much more than that. Beverly sends $100, goes, thanks for your work, Turtleboy. Well, thank you. Alexandria sends $10, goes, excited for the 3rd. Thank you for getting a day off. I'm excited to see you there, Alexandria. Thank you. Gigi sends $100, goes, old Kate has fucked with Texas. You mean, is that Krusty? Was that what old Kate is? Yeah. Jennifer sends $10, goes, keep exposing the corruption. Will do, Jen. Ralph sends $25 and goes, defense fund. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it, pal. Carrie B, our girl there, sends $50 and goes, oh, this was Friday. She sent this. I keep you in my prayers, evil bitches in this world. Thank you so much. So I might have read that the other day. I don't remember, but let me just read some membership stuff. Let me bang through these. We love you, Uncle Turtle. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hillary says, gives 5 memberships. Congrats to the winners. Don't forget to renew at the end of the month, folks. You get 1 free one for that. Next witness says, I'm always down for the Turtleboy fundraisers. We won't let them win because of money. We ain't got no quit. Yeah, then that's what we did with Karen Reed. We did not. Every time that Judge Bev came down on our baby, we just said, let's go. Let's get it going again. Thank. Ms. Take gives 1 membership. Thank you so much. Congrats to the winners. Hillary gave 5 more. And then 5 more. Awesome. Gregory is a new YouTube member. Welcome, Greg. Jen says they're scared the Turtle Boy was right. Yes, they were. The Lawyer You Blow says there were two $10,000 payments from Morrissey's campaign to 𝗃 in the past several months, both after he announced he wasn't even running. Yeah, it's so weird. So weird how that happens. Mo Esquire says the problem isn't Democrats. Who said it was? Well, it's not Republicans. I mean, this is by whatever, you know? It's the problem with the one-party state where people like Morrissey, if you have a one-party state, people like Morrissey get real comfortable in their jobs because they're never going to have a challenger from the other side, ever. The challengers can only come from within their own party, and that's a problem. Prince of Wales says, "Mo money, mo problems." Yes. Ral's a new member. Welcome. Ray from Dallas, my guy. You're a member. Awesome. Love to see that. New Hampshire woman, NH woman. I assume this would say for it. Says, "We have your back, Aidan." Thank you so much, NH woman. Zelda Bobo says, "Big Gretchen never mentioned the bomb scare." Did we ever get that result? What bomb scare? Am I forgetting a bomb scare? Chance MP says a fracture at the base of the skull will cause raccoon eyes. Hitting your head on something hard could. Exactly. That's why I don't think he was punched. I don't think he got those from getting punched in the face. I think that came from the back of that. 10 memberships given out. Welcome to the ice cream truck lady. Awesome. Who is a new member. Congratulations. Allison is a new member. Welcome. It's my daughter's name. Thank you. Love it. You spell it the same way. Great. Eva Keen is a new member. Well, thank you very much. She Likes Texas gave out 50 Turtle Boy memberships. Holy shit. Congrats to the recipients, and don't forget to renew at the end of the month. Charlie says JM wants extra on her bagel. And look, and I ain't trying to start on her. I'm not going to fat shame her or any of that shit. That's not, I think that's lowbrow. It's not what I'm interested in or whatever. But what I'm saying is that, like, why give your enemies that, like, low-hanging fruit to always have? I don't get it. And, like, also, I don't like the sounds of people eating when I'm trying to listen to them talk. I find it aggravating. That's just me. But, again, she's killing it in this world. She's a fucking icon. So who am I to... I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous. She's a threat. I have so much respect for you, Unc, says Zed's dead baby. You will get through this because you have to. I do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Casey Paralegals became a donor. One saved my mom 5 years ago. Thank you. It's hard with kids. It is. It's very hard. The Turtle Boy trifecta says, "Be better. Exposing stories, delivering laughs, and challenging the status quo. Journalist, comedian, and activist." That's me, baby. NJ Kathy just sends a dog emoji. Thank you. Waxing Gibbous is a member for 2 months. Thank you. Happy T-Bone is a new YouTube member. We hope you like your hair. We hope you stick around. Jenny on the Cape is a YouTube member. Same with you, dear. It's my birthday. Happy effing birthday. July 25th, Katrina. May it be a good one. Carrie is a YouTube member. You're going to like it here, dear. Who the F donated the $5,000 drunk to someone one night and tried to rally the funds back the next day? What? Somebody donated $5,000 drunk and tried to get it back? No. Not that net. Thank you. She Likes Texas gave out another 20. She gave 70 memberships out tonight. All right, or is that the same one? It is. It is the same one. Thank you. I like Texas too. Jam Cracker says, "Have a watch party fundraiser of the Wilbur Show and charge $10 to watch." Well, the Wilbur Show already happened, and I don't think another one's going to happen. So maybe I'll tell that story one day too. Since I didn't think I was going to tell the Nurse Kim story, but you know, I'm like, it's like the fact that we have a mutual supporter base is the problem, right? Because a lot of those people are my supporters, and then they think I'm an asshole because of that. Like, that story made me look bad, and it was untrue. And I'm like, that I can lose supporters because of that. That's not cool. At least give me a heads up. Read some of the comments on your gifts and go, I will. BLT wants to fix Crawford's fridge. Don't ruin his gay summer. I'll try not to. And Blogat says Rights On. Thank you, Rights On. We appreciate that. You've been around for a while, my dude. The Give Send Go, man. Wow. I don't know how much money we raised on that tonight. Like 4 or 5 grand of crazy shit. Holy shit. Some of these comments, man. I'm going to read them all. Sometimes I read the comments and I'm just like, man, who are these people? They're so nice. And so many of them are anonymous. They don't even want shit. They don't want any fame, nothing. But, man, I'm just reading these comments, man. Appreciate that, guys. Really, really appreciate that. So, man. So, anyway, it's been a real. It's 1:21 in the morning. We still got over 5,500 people here. What a good show. Sorry I started so late tonight. But tomorrow, we're having another family event here tomorrow. The whole fam's got to come over. So I got to mow the lawn, clean the house, make it presentable. We're going to have pool time with the family. And we'll see you guys all Monday morning for the best Bus Stop Live. All right? Peace to your bum crease. Outie. And don't forget to brush your teeth.
Tick, 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 boom. Tick, 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 boom. Tick, 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 boom. Pressure bill, detonate. Tick, boom. Too late now, can't moderate. Tick, boom. Just give me flash. Let's go. Tick, boom. Everybody talking, nobody compose. You should have just let me be, but nah, you knew what I do. Who I am. You know who I am. Tick, tick, tick. Bobbing and weaving where you telegraph hate. Flashbulbs pop every time I breathe. Whole world watching. Enjoy no front row seats. Say my name, watch the algorithm screen. Turtle boy. You drama sales on the fumes of my pike tails. Free clickbait for all the mirror ultimate. Bum for town clownies. Better all town clownies in the cheap seats. I built this house, you built noise, I built proof. Woo. Time to raise this roof. Time to expose the hard truth. Now the spotlight stuck on you. Oh, po baby boo. Tick, 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 boom. Truth hit the wrong. Stand clear. Tick, boom. Funny now, they fear. Tick, boom. Flashbulbs, no escape. Tick, boom.